fowl adenoviruses can be done by virus isolation, postmortem, electron microscopy, immunofluorescence, neutralization, hemagglutination inhibition, ELISA, then DNA restriction enzyme analysis, DNA in situ hybridization, PCR, and sequencing of exon gene. And in histopathology, pathognomic lesions are intranuclear inclusion bodies in liver, pancreas, and gizzard. If you see the clinical aspect, particularly commercial broilers and broiler breeders, affected age is 15 to 35 days. And if you do necropsy, then you can see hard and leathery liver, excessively swollen kidneys, pale and fragile, sometimes livers, thighs and breast muscles hemorrhages are also seen. In commercial layers, severe anemia indicated paleness of liver, kidneys and bone marrow, along with atrophic changes in bursae of Fabricius, thymus, spleen. And there will be severe gizzard erosion and gangrenous dermatitis. So, studies carried out at PDRC, we did histopathology, virus isolation, PCR, bacterial isolations, feed samples for mycotoxin testing, water samples for microbiology and quality assessment. So, you can see these intranuclear inclusion bodies. Here also you can see these intranuclear inclusion bodies. In gizzard also you can see this. And in pancreas also you can see these inclusion bodies. So during year 21-22, during year 21 we tested 740 samples. Out of 740 samples, PCR positive adenoviruses, we got 145 samples, and we got histopathology positive for toxicity 262 samples. And in 22, more number of histopathology positive toxicity samples we have found. This 77 samples for adenovirus, positive for adenoviruses. So we did phylogenetic analysis also. So we found prevalence of serotype 11, 2, 6, 8A, serotype 9, and 8B. So FADVs are isolated from all these cases in different zones of India, and we found that multiple serotypes are circulating in the field. Fowl adenoviruses, serotype 4, 8, and 11 are pathogenic, and serotype 1, 2, 6, and 9 were detected, but disease was not produced experimentally in SPF chicks. So general observations regarding incidence of IBH, HPS, and GE cases, there is a significant seasonal variation and geographical location and management issues. The incidences are more in the month of June to September. So, to conclude PDRC findings, in histopathological examination, most of the samples showed lesions of mycotoxicity. In virology, IBH adenovirus were detected in 30% of samples, and on sequencing study of the adenoviruses detected or isolated from most of the cases belong to serotype 11, and very few samples were positive for serotype 8. The samples positive for IBH also showed concurrent lesions of mycotoxicity in histopathology. In feed tested for mycotoxins, we detected high levels of aflatoxin B1 and ochratoxin A and fumonisin in most of the feed samples. So how to prevent? So prevention strategies, it includes good toxin binder in feed and fowl adenovirus vaccination in breeders as well as in commercial layers, good vaccination program for IBD, and feed, of course, animal source protein should be avoided. To conclude with, most of the hepatitis cases were due to mycotoxicosis, and mycotoxins prevalent in India are aflatoxin B1, ochratoxin, T2, fumonisin, zirlenon, and DON. Season-wise variation was observed, and particularly nationwide mycotoxin surveillance program is very much required. Selection of good quality feed toxin binder with proper dose is of importance. And as I told you, fowl adenoviruses, IBH vaccination for broiler breeders and commercial broilers as well as commercial layer growers is required. Thank you.
Dr. Javak, thank you for being on time. You're bang on time. So it was a good informative session on mycotoxicrosis and adenovirus, associated hepatitis. I guess it was to the topic and with how it could be prevented. So anything else? Yeah, you have to add.
So one question, sir.
He has a question.
What is the vaccine you have suggested? A fowl adenovirus vaccination, sir. What age you suggest, sir?
Commercial vaccines are available.
Yes, sir.
IBH vaccines.
Okay.
So IBH vaccines, if you want to prevent the incidence in commercial broilers, you can give 2 doses pre-lay IBH killed vaccine, and 1 dose you can give in mid-lay. So you can have antibodies, better antibodies in commercial chicks.
It's an oral vaccine, sir?
Yeah, 3 vaccines.
Oral, sir? Oral?
Oral, not oral, it's a killed vaccine. Okay, you can give intramuscular.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Deka has a question.
Hello, Dr. Sab. In spite of following what Bankis is recommending in breeders' flocks, and we are unable to control this IBH in broilers. So usually it is coming in the 2nd week. So therefore no kill vaccines is also working, because any kill vaccines immunity will be coming only after the 3rd week. And it's causing havoc in many of the places, especially in the Jharkhand regions. So every year we are facing this Bankis team, they came and they collected the field virus as well to develop, field vaccine, vaccines based upon field virus. Still, nothing happened. So what remedies we should, take? And you will not believe in breeders, we are not only doing 2 vaccines, we are also doing follow-up vaccines, at least another 1 or 2. Still there is IVH problem.
Yeah, particularly if you see, particularly in Jharkhand area, commercial broilers, the source of eggs is very variable. You are getting eggs from Namakkal, broiler breeder eggs from Namakkal.
No, we are having our own breeders.
You are having your own breeders?
Own breeders at nearby Ranchi. So we are having a breeders of 45,000 birds. And we are following entirely the schedule prescribed by the Bankis only.
Yeah. So then we have to investigate regarding exact whether it is because of IBH, adenovirus, or whether because of some other reason. It is because of adenoviruses. It is already established. Then serotype, we have to exactly see whether which serotype is prevalent. Cross protection is a problem in IVH. If it is that season is there. So then particularly in that particular period, we have to see whether that is caused by serotype 11 or serotype 8, because cross protection, it's very important. So if it is not cross protecting, then we have to add that particular serotype in the vaccine. Then only it can be prevented. That is the only way. Yeah. No, so far, I think field virus we have not added, so that we have to see.
Thank you, Dr. Deka, for the question. So I guess, so if there are some more questions, Dr. Chavak is around. Thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful presentation. Yeah, so we have a eminent speaker from Sri Lanka now, Mr. Ajit Gunasekara. So, sir, may I request you on the stage? His topic is current status and way forward for sustainable poultry industry in Sri Lanka. So please welcome Dr. Ajit.
And Ibowan. So first, I would like to thank University of NDVSU Vice Chancellor, Dean of the College, and especially thanks the Indian Veterinary Poultry Association Chairman and the group, especially Dr. Jinetha Verma. So my topic is current status and way forward of the sustainable poultry industry in Sri Lanka. Do you know the real situation of the Sri Lanka now? We are recovering now. We hope to develop in the industry sustainability. Agriculture plays an integral role in the Sri Lankan economy. Livestock, poultry and fisheries are considered as valuable agriculture subsectors. They produce high quality protein in form of milk, meat and eggs, the protein sources. From the livestock sector, contribution to the total GDP is around 0.9%. Cattle, poultry, swine, goat and sheep as a primary products, value-added products and byproducts. Livestock care in Sri Lanka is still rural livelihood activity which utilize family labor. We are using family labor. Unutilized agricultural byproducts, neglected marginal lands is very important for the development of the livestock sector. There is strong symbiotic relationship between crop and livestock. The two sectors of crop and livestock helps enhance the productivity of the agriculture economy of the Sri Lanka. Livestock industry Sri Lanka, the contribution of the GDP, 0.9%. So according to our the statistics, agriculture, forestry and fishing was 2020 8.4, industries was 2020 20.62%, services 59.7% and others 5.7%. So a very important sector is livestock sector. The dairy contribution was 20.21%, chicken meat 0.51%, egg 0.1%, and meat was 0.12%. That's why we are very important in poultry sector. The population-wise in Sri Lanka in 2021, cattle population around 1.6 million. So we have beef production 29,543 metric tons. The cattle milk 376 million liters per annum. Our requirement, the national requirement per capita consumption 52.6 liters per annum. But we are producing 20.36 million liters in our country. So balance, we are importing from New Zealand, Australia as a powdered milk. So milking cows, we have around 493,343, heifers 262,595,000 and calves 189,23,000. The productive animals total around 900,000. So you can see the unproductive animal around 42%. So that's the problem we are facing now in the cattle industry, the unproductive animals using our resources. The buffalo milk production also 51.6 million per annum. Poultry meat, we are very strong in the industry, poultry meat. We are producing 41.97 million. In last evening, Dr. Gowda said in India, your production around 800,000 metric tons chicken. And swine is very small, goat and also very small. So our total milk production in Sri Lanka, 427 million liters per year. The poultry industry in Sri Lanka is a lucrative business fully controlled by the private sector. The contribution of the GDP, the poultry sector, from the livestock sector, the 67%. Cheapest of the animal protein, chicken and eggs still now. 99 handled by private sector. That's the reason we are very strong. Government role limited to facilitation and regulatory activities and also monitoring. We are self-sufficient in domestic demand according to the purchasing power. Supporting the growth plans, agriculture and tourism sector also through the oil sector. Potential to export local industry on par with international production, high quality industry with international standard. This is our country, small country. The land spans around 65,000 square kilometers. Our population 22.6 million. We are very strong in adult literacy, around 92% in the southeastern region, very strong literacy rate. The average poverty population in grandparents in 2020 was 0.07 million. Boiler parents 3.24 million. Layer parent was 0.22 in 2020. Commercial poultry industry, broiler, at the moment, and 2020 was 15.2 million in India. I heard last evening, maybe around 850 million. Layer industry also very strong, 22 million, and backyard 1.1 million. Total poultry population around 42 million. So we think about the food security and food safety. So the Sri Lankan government, also the Nutrition Department, Minister of Health, they recommended requirement 147,000 metric tons per minimum requirement of chicken meat. So we are producing now 216,000 million metric tons. So we are very strong in the poultry meat production. And demand sufficient and current purchasing power. If the purchasing power is high, consumption rate going up. So production versus food security, egg also. So our production is 2,650 million per year. In India, I hope maybe 122 billion per year. So demand is locally met according to our purchasing power. Requirement basic food security, MRA, the Ministry of Health and National Nutrition Council recommended for our country, we need around 7,500 million eggs per year. So we have a good opportunity to expand our layer sector. So it's depend on the purchasing power and demand. Chicken meat production chain. So we have 3 grandparent farms and 34 parent farms. So we importing only 15% of the parent birds to the country. And broiler farms and integrators. We have lactative system. We have introduced in 1977 out the economic change. So the buyback system. Because the integrators provide day-old chicks, feed, medicaments, and technical service, and purchase the harvest. And also they encourage to develop the value-added products. And also poultry feed, we import raw materials, basic raw materials, and vitamin minerals and feed additives. And also we use local feed raw materials. The egg production is the same as the broiler section, and we haven't GP farms in Sri Lanka. We import 100% of the parent birds from the other countries. So we have 10 parent farms, and we produce the day-old chicks, and also the same system with buyback system with integrators and farmers, the strong link. They provide the inputs to the farmers. Consumption by region in 2000 now statistics, Europe a very high consumption rate of egg and chicken, America, the highest, Asia, and Sri Lanka. Our per capita consumption in eggs now 125. This was 29, 2019, and now 125. And chicken meat around 10. In India, I heard last evening Dr. Gowda said your country consumption rate, per capita consumption rate of chicken 6 kgs and also egg 90s. We are very strong in consumption rate in Sri Lanka. The meat consumption will go economic growth because according to the purchasing power. So world and developing countries and developed countries and Sri Lanka. Compare with Sri Lanka, you can see, I think meat consumption, the total meat consumption rate per capita 13.5 to chicken 10. So chicken industry is very strong and people like to eat chicken. Industry has taken great effort to make protein for everyone up to 2020 March. After the COVID situation, we are very practical problem to continue the business because lack of raw materials. So you can see in 2010 was frozen chicken kg, Sri Lankan rupees 320. 2020 was 430. 2022 per kg 1,200. Still the cheapest source of the chicken is 120, 100 gram rupees. So that's why I think people like to use chicken, still cheapest source of the protein. Yes, we can export chicken, yes. So of course, we have developed very well and lucrative to a business with private sector. We have invested now, up to now, around Sri Lankan rupees 200 billion. And we have to pay our government in tax around 20 billion per year. Because that's this income generated from the government. And we have opportunity to the export business, get the export business, because post-COVID the opportunities and still WVPA country in South Asian region. And international poultry stand have also developed and infrastructure also developed and able to expand demand because we have to chance to and we have the facility to double the production. So the problem is weakness is high COP. So around 80% of the cost to the feed cost. So our target is how to cut down the feed cost. The feed, yes, we are producing around 1.4 million tons per year. The breeder, 100,000 metric tons, broiler feed, 520,000 metric tons, layer, 700 metric tons. The main energy source, we are using now the maize. Our requirement in 2020 was around 600,000 metric tons. Local maize production was in 2022, 350,000 metric tons. Balanced maize alternative product requirement should be imported to fill the gap. But the problem is the government regulation and the restrictions. Animal feed production 2016 to 2020, you can see dairy feed metric ton, that means 2020 was 68,000, poultry feed 933,000, pig feed very small, goat, shrimp, and total feed production, I think 1.3 million metric tons. So we are strong in, totally we produce our own feed. Import of feed ingredients are very necessary because especially the basic raw materials and feed additives. The meat and bone meal, fish meal, wheat bran, soya bean meal. I think the largest quantity we have to import from other countries, especially USA and India. And also maize, our requirement is recovering maybe 50%, we have to import another 50% from outside. So basic feed openness requirements, that's a sustainability of the development of the poultry industry in Sri Lanka. We have discussed with government to fulfill our requirement. So if you use maize, we can use 60% of the feed and we need 720,000 metric tons per annum. If you use rice, we can use 40%, we need 480,000 metric tons. So protein concentrate also, soybean meal, we can use maximum 40%, and we need around 480,000 metric tons. So we hope to import India and USA. And also mineral sources, then feed additives, DCP, bone meal, we import from other countries. Local maize cultivation requirement, that's why our sales solution linked with the agriculture department, and we help to them to develop the maize industry in Sri Lanka. Because we have 2 seasons according to the monsoon rain. The biggest season is Maha and small season Jala. We have to cultivate this year Jala season around 64,000 hectares and Maha season 128,000 hectares, totally 160,000 hectares per annum. So our inputs also requirement also very important, because we are not manufacturing maize seed locally. We have to import maize seed from other countries. We have more money, more foreign currency required. But everyone knows, I think we have facing now foreign currency problem. And also the fertilizer inputs, agrochemicals, and also we encouraging local maize farmers to cultivate the maize, and our association given the guarantee to purchase per kg 160 rupees. It's a very big business in Sri Lanka, so we can earn 50 billion per annum from the maize cultivation. So year 2002, we imported around 225 metric tons cereals, especially maize and wheat from India. We spent around $85 million. And this year also, we hope to fulfill the balance. We need around 270,000 metric tons of maize at the rate of now 360 per ton. We need another $2 million to import the maize. So that's why our association encourage our local farmers, and with new technologies, in average yields in hectare 5 tons, and also we can manage 300,000 metric tons of yellow season in this year. And local paddy cultivation forecast also, I think another source of the energy source we can use. So our staple food in yellow season and March season, total 1.4 million hectares we have to cultivate. So our expected paddy harvest 3.47 million tons. So current requirement human consumption 2.4 million tons per annum. So unfortunately our government banned the use of rice because of the food security, but we are producing main protein source for the nation, egg and chicken. So another alternative energy source also, we have identified cassava root meal. We have to develop the cassava root meal in Sri Lanka. We forecast around 100,000 hectares, 100,000 metric tons a year, and also good income from the farmers. Protein source requirement, because soybean meals, because we are local production very small, 15,000 metric tons per year. We have to import 300,000 metric tons per year. We spend around $210 million per annum. The future of the Sri Lankan poultry industry grows with the recovery of the economy. The key grandparent farms capacity sufficient for countries' requirement and also export requirement. Industry structural change, I think new technology use, environmental control houses, and with new technology. Healthy competition among strong players, benefits of consumers, quality, price, value-added products. Food security and food safety is main constraint. Yes. Efficiency will drive the cost down. Present constraints, main constraint about the energy source resources, especially maize, lack of maize. What poultry industry can ensure? Ensure steady supply to local market and thereby ensure the total chicken and egg requirement of the country. Support growth of GDP through better job opportunities, development farmer communities. support sustainability of other related industries, especially maize cultivation, farmers, and agriculture byproducts and tourism. Because in Sri Lanka, 15,000 maize farmers, because we are purchasing from them total products. Our target is export 72,000 metric tons a year of chicken and 300,000 parent breeder chicks and 30 million eggs in 2024. Potential export quality chicken meat may be around 180,000 metric tons per year. We have established farm with novel technology in the world and do production international standard, because very important. Potential manufacturing can generate foreign currency by exporting chicken products and can more local currency than ever due to high exchange rate, because Sri Lankan rupees depreciate. Sri Lankan can be poultry products exporters as well help the export income of the country. Potential large and medium scale producers will have the opportunity to expand the export market, and small and medium scale producers will have more space to expand their production and supply high quality products to the local market with affordable prices. This will help create a affordable protein rich diet in the nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ajit, for a very, thank you, Mr. Ajit, for a very good insight on data points on and the contribution of livestock industry in Sri Lanka economy. Good to see that poultry seems to be pretty self-sufficient, and as you mentioned, the meat and the egg consumption probably is per capita consumption is higher than India. Yeah. So that's great. I'm sure Sri Lanka economy will come out, very strongly. Any questions anybody may have?
Hello, good morning all. Gunasaka sir, thanks for a beautiful presentation of your country and the things, how the poultry has been managed there, including the livestock. So, can you just explain how is the market there for the ready birds? Is it totally wet market? It's a processed market? What is the value addition you are doing? And number two, which countries you are exporting from Sri Lanka?
Yes, well question. Because our market size is the frozen food 80% and wet market 20%. After the COVID situation, wet market is going up to 30% and the frozen chicken 70%.
Okay, so going by, because I also know that the Sri Lanka market for, especially we are investing all the money in production. But in many states, many people, many producers are here, but we are not able to market that our products at per our price. We have to surrender to the market because of the traders, because this is mainly a wet market oriented situation in India. So if we go that way, then that is going ahead for our future. So can I just ask you one more question based on this? How you manage to go up to 80% on processed and value-added products?
Because Sri Lankan people like to use their frozen food and value-added products, I think the consumption pattern also change, and also to develop the tourism industry. So we create the tourist industry also. And India, I think wet market very high, maybe around 70%, and frozen market very low. And also value-added products, sausages, meatballs, and other products. So, and the second question also, now at the moment we are exporting Maldives and Middle East, chicken and eggs, because high quality standard. And also bird-proof country. So that's the opportunity we have to tap.
Okay, and going ahead for the further question on the based on your presentation, how much role the government plays in having this kind of setup, or the private entrepreneurs, they themselves have made themselves like this?
Because they're totally handled by private sector, the government involved very less.
Okay.
That's why we are
that is the secret.
That's why secret, we are very strong.
So that is the secret of your success. Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Hello. Per capita availability of egg, meat and milk, that is better as compared to India in Sri Lanka. But if you see the GDP contribution of livestock sector to agriculture sector, that is very low. That is 0.9. So what could be the reason of low GDP contribution in agriculture in Sri Lanka?
Because according to government statistics department calculation, because they are considered about the primary products. That's why the GDP rate is very low from the agriculture sector, 8.4%. Industry is going up and GDP the percentage going up because they calculate the component for the secondary products, the industry side. That's the situation of the Sri Lanka. And also the secondary products, the industry, that means the value-added products. So we are going to encourage the value-added products.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. Thank you, Mr. Ajit, for answering the question very well. Thank you so much.
Due to post-COVID animal protein demand and Russian-Ukraine war, world is looking after towards India for supplying animal protein. In last 2 months, we have received 3 requests from different countries, including Sri Lanka, to supply Indian poultry and especially table egg. In the second week of February itself, we received a request from government of Sri Lanka to supply table egg from India. Though Sri Lanka is free from HPI, and it is also a message to our poultry industry that we have to also invest on animal health management. One of the conditions for Sri Lanka is the establishment should be registered as a HPI-free compartment at least 6 months prior to export. And to gain a foreign market access is a very typical. 2 players get their request received in Sri Lanka government, but we were may consider only one establishment because that is registered as a compartment in government of India. And though Sri Lanka government is considering the second player, he is not able to export because he is not registered as a compartment. Similarly, Malaysia and Singapore also requesting for table egg and different poultry products from India. But first requirement is to free from HPI. That's why to gain a foreign market, we have to invest in avian health management, which is the theme of this conference. And at present, India is having only 32 compartments, out of which only 3 are as a table egg. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kak. So, may I invite now our next eminent speaker, Dr. Ali Asgar. So, Dr. Ali Asgar is an entrepreneur, a veterinarian entrepreneur, and he'll be sharing his views, journey of a decade, Safi VetMed India. Glad to be here.
Hello. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. This is my first time on this kind of a stage, a platform. I have never been a speaker in a scientific conference. So yeah, let me settle. The heartbeats are already, 200, 300, I don't know. I'll try to be as calm as possible. But let me start thanking the university, the association, and of course, Jitendra sir. When he called me first time to come deliver this presentation, I felt like that I was completely misfit. And why I was misfit, I need to tell you that who I am, where I'm coming from, and what this journey is all about. So my name is Ali Asghar. I hate using word doctor because what happens is that people ask technical question. And I'm completely away from veterinary. The core, the matter, the science, the technology, etc. is still the presentation. What we are going to see is through a prism of technology and the science, etc. So I was a veterinarian, or I graduated as a veterinarian from Anjora Veterinary College. And then I went to Pantnagar, and I did my post-graduation in surgery. And I was considered to be not a bad surgeon. So this is a first misfit, because I'm going to give a presentation on something which is related to business. And of course, the science and the technology and so many scientists. I can see the, sir, I can see industry, so many colleagues. So I'm not going to preach. I'm not going to, tell you something that, what business is all about. Because again, I'm not an MBA. I'm again seeing Jitendra sir. I am. So let me start with sorry. I'll be committing so many mistakes during my presentation. So if anything, goes wrong, or you feel like it's a preaching, I'm so sorry. What I'm going to do is that the way we see this company or this this institution or whatever we say, this is temple for us. Safe India grew. So I left in 2009 and 10, and I started working here. So the way anybody would start as a novice to the business world, I also started, or we also started. In 2009-10, actively, very cautiously, or I would say not cautiously because we didn't know anything. But the first right step I think we took was selection of our, recipes or the concepts. I think in hindsight, you can have a lot of, right answers or correction, etc. But today, we feel that at that time, if we would have started with our own recipes or the concepts, it would have been wrong. Our first step or the right step was we had certain things which was research-based, which was there in the market for 10, 20 years, and those were established names. it gave us a brand value. I would again tell you a very, very interesting fact is that when we started working, and we would call a customer and we would tell them, or they would ask, where are you from? And we say, Safe Vet Med India. And they would ask, who is that? And then I would say, Sir, Ali Asgar. And say, who is that? And then I would say, sir, I'm calling from Mentofin company. And then the response was, okay, come. So I think when I say again is that I don't know what works for a business and what doesn't work. And maybe when sir chose me to give this presentation, the main reason was he wanted to tell the students that this is another avenue for the veterinarians. Not only the state government or RVC or the private sector, there are so many avenues now which has opened, but this is what is still a domain which people don't consider because of the risk. So this is what I say as a first part. When we started with certain things which were established beautifully on a scientific platform, and which gave us initial foothold in the industry. Of course, the next step, which was very quick in our journey, was establishing our manufacturing site. After 2010, in 2013, the first or the only investment came from Europe for our manufacturing site. I think this whole process did change our own thinking as well as the way the customer or the market perceive us. This is a graduation from a level 1 to the level 2. But the most important thing what we had is that during this phase, we started thinking on a very, very different platform. It was our necessity, because I would share that why it was a necessity to get into the manufacturing, but this is what we did within 3 or 4 years. And whatever we could start when in a very smaller way, we started in Dehradun. The second most important part which we did at that time was establishing all the laboratories, whether it is analytical, chemical, micro, all the studies, including the stability studies. Now, this is what is the biggest factor. Generally, what we consider is a manufacturing site. We always consider manufacturing as one unit. What we believe that if we don't have these kind of labs, a support system will be completely a weak system. And I would again give an example that why we believed in this is still, even today, we certify the manufacturers for our raw material supply. We don't certify the vendors. Once a manufacturer is certified, the team can buy the raw material from any vendor if he or whatever they are having the same manufacturer raw material. If we have to bring another manufacturer, we always go for the certification process. But again, a very important part is that we never influence our team. If the raw material is rejected, it is rejected. Because what again we have seen is that the quality always remains in your brain and your heart. It's never into the equipments. You bring the best of the equipments, and still, if you want to do the corner cutting, you would do that. So the first thing we did that, the quality team, which we brought from the US FDA approved unit, handling injectable. And the first thing the signal went to them is that whatever be the problem, whatever be the commercial losses, this management is not going to tell us that, okay, fine, approve it. And that is what the first step was, and the result was even we saved ourselves from getting blacklisted in Egypt market. Many of the industry colleagues are here in Egypt. Whenever you export the goods, there is always a testing process. We sent a good, and it is tested. What we found is that there was some problem, and one of the vitamin was nil in our formulation. Maybe it was because of the mixing process or whatever. But what happened was that it was already saving us from the great difficulty. It doesn't mean that we are the best. We fail every day. We fail every hour. But whenever we are failing, we know the reason because we have got the support system. So we are equipped with all the microbiology and the stability studies. We do every study on our own. We do have our own trial farms where we do our own clinical trials. So this has helped a lot in supporting our cause. Again, we decided to go for the certification, and we went for the GMP plus. This was one of the most costliest process. We were not exporting to Europe, but still, we believed that this is what is going to assure the quality for us. This was again a step taken almost in 2014 and 15, where the money was very less. Still it is less. My wife asked me, when are we going to end this struggle? And I always reply that it will never end now. Earlier we were struggling for 10,000, then we will struggle for 1 lakh and 10 lakhs and 1 crore and 10 crore. So this is endless word where the money is important for every single day. But the important point was that again, we had a requirement. We thought that yes, this will require money. And after now 6 years, every year, we are through with their audits, which itself gives, some confidence to us that no, we are not bad. At least we are preparing ourselves for a competitive world. But this entire manufacturing setup in 2013 helped us somewhere else, which even we were not thinking at that time when we invested, because we invested for something else. Every single player where we were importing from any country, whether it is UK, Germany, USA, Switzerland, everyone is now manufacturing with us in this manufacturing site. In any form, repackaging, processing, blending, whatever, but every one of them. Now this helped us increasing our knowledge, because they helped us, because the players were really, really big. All 4 or 5 of them are public limited company from Europe or USA. So this helped us bringing knowledge, technology, and commercially, because 10 years time, external factors have affected the business environment so much that it is really difficult to survive. Against all those odds, what I say is that we are still surviving is one of this reason, because we could arrest the cost, we could save the import duties. There are technical and commercial barrier. Every government protects its own business, but that is where you have to find a sync or balance between the import and the local. So what we got was the knowledge, technology, and everything, and they didn't stop here. Very recently, one of the major German company, chemical company, $1 billion USD plus, they gave us the entire technology, know-how, their brand names to manufacture the product here in their name, but with the whole ownership of CEFE, and we can anytime dissociate from them. Similarly, from South Africa, ICA South Africa, again, they gave us the rights to manufacture the product. Now, but the story doesn't end here. What they are now looking for is that, like Tech5 Europe, again, we were looking for the manufacturing or the technology enhancement. So we are bringing the microencapsulation technology for phytogens, for acids, for essential oil. There are so many other things. But the best thing is that now they want to manufacture here with us and export to Europe and other countries. So a small step, which was, I don't know, was it a conscious decision or a fluke or whatever. But this is what happened is that manufacturing and the quality, that investment ultimately resulted in all these, our graduation. But I tell you one thing. Basically, this manufacturing site, sir, tell me, because I'm not keeping the time, so.
I can see the passion in you, but I guess, yeah, I wish we could have more time to spend.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. So, basically, we started buying some technologies or patents in India and abroad right from 2009 and 10 without any money, when we had the least money in our pockets. And basically, we went all around the world. If somebody can tie up, have a tie-up with us and market these products or manufacture or scale up, none of them agreed. Why? Because there was no brand involved. We were not a brand. So we decided that we will execute everything on our own. And the first thing which happened in 2020, this is dry cow therapy Novadip, which is now being manufactured by us, and it is being marketed by VMD Belgium, which is again is a now public limited company because they have been bought over by Orion Finland. So this is going. They are planning to launch it in 104 countries if everything goes smoothly. So this was the first one. The second one, which is now again ready, this is again a patent. It's a in situ wound gel, one-time spray for animals. It can extend to human as well. It forms a film, releases a silver nanoparticle. One of the multinational company has done the trial for 2 years. They are ready to market us, and we are going to manufacture. This is our dream project. This is a target drug delivery where the nanoparticle is fused with an antibiotic, and this one is ready for the buparvacon for theileriosis. They have worked on azithromycin, rifampicin for various intracellular diseases. For this, I went to Europe personally to kind of sell it off, and the VMD selected the teeth dip rather than the injectable, and that was my first lesson, that maybe you think that you are holding something best, but ultimately you have to see the market, what market perceives about it. So again, the second lesson was that if you are not a brand, you need to execute, and then somebody believes. If you go with the concept, nobody would, if you are a brand, of course, you can sell the concept as well, not us. This made us again, the graduate further in our working, in our knowledge. We started more tie-ups, more collaboration with the universities. This is another one, dry cow therapy. It releases antibiotic over a period of 40 days in MIC every single day. This is yet to scale up. This is yet to go to a second or third stage vis-a-vis other 3 technologies. We are also working on Coxy through cleaners. We have got the US patent, the EU patent, as well as India patent. We are working with, we are also very much interested in yeast expression technology, where we are trying, or the scientist team, university team is trying to express the protein. Now, when you see all these things, maybe people get confused that it is us who are doing. We just scouted. We went for a scout. We saw the concept, and then all the universities helped us. So I would like to thank Mumbai Veterinary College. I would like to thank Nagpur Veterinary College. I would like to thank Institute of Chemical Technology, Mumbai, College of Pharmacy, Mumbai, University of America, Beirut, University of Free State, South Africa. It's not us. It's them who have done all the work. We coordinated, we invested, and this is what has resulted into it. We are working in 15 countries, including exports, Europe. This is our dream project. By 2024, we want to have our own injectable unit to execute the target drug delivery. We approached Bill Gates Foundation, GalMed, everyone. Didn't get the support. Most probably now Uttarakhand government is supporting us to bring this project to the light. This is what, again, we never talked about product. We worked on different things, and this is what we identified, the Customer Connect program. And this Customer Connect program, again, we identified the importance of data management in the farming, and that too for the lower 30 to 40%, because all the development is going for the first 20 to 30%. The second one was health through biosecurity, and so this is what we have developed, our own apps, our own web-based program to capture the data from the poultry farm, analyze on a server, and then present it in a very critical, ready to use farm. And the farmers won't need any server or any high equipment. This is just app-based. As I said, again, this is for the farmers who belong to lower end. Biosecurity, again, beyond disinfectant usage, we have tied up with a company which specializes in cleaning only. When I say cleaning, it's just cleaning. How do you wash? How do you reach to every single corner of your shed? This is going to be our big Customer Connect program, and we have termed it as protection through biosecurity. This is again what we identified. Every farmer is struggling to sell the chicken, with value addition. And we created an e-commerce online platform where the farmers, if they have got the retail outlet, they can register. We will teach them how to operate the entire e-commerce, and they can set up their, e-commerce. Entire marketing is done by us so that we connect them to the consumers, and our single slogan is egg and chicken for you is a good idea. So all our advertisement campaign is social awareness, like mobile while driving a bad idea, egg and chicken for you is a good idea. So this is about an awareness program as well, and as well as something which can create a demand for the farmers. We even tied up with a Bollywood movie. We sponsored the title. We thought that we need visibility, and we are not a brand. So we did that. Unfortunately, it was released during the COVID, but the movie is now available on Amazon Prime. But this is what, again, effort as a part of customer care program. This is our future vision. We are going to work this company not only in health, but health, hygiene, and food, which is 360-degree approach, because this is what we see as a company for next till 2030. This is our vision statement as well. In this entire presentation, we are talking about science, but I tell you from my personal experience that this is one critical factor. Team, human resource, is what make everything successful and everything failure. What you are seeing me as maybe the face of the company, but we have got a team, and this team is sticking with us for as long as 12 years. The people who are there, who are head of manufacturing, who are head of customer care, who are head of sales, they have not left us for last 12 years. Our first employee is still our employee in the sales. And the employee who was told when the first salary day came, he was told that if you can collect the money, take your salary, otherwise next month we will see. So, I mean, the story is not a rosy one, but it became rosy only because of these people. And I would like to end this presentation with the spirit what we have in our team. If we can, excuse me, if we can play that film, it's there. This is my thanks to the external as well as internal customer. When I say internal customer, it is our team, human resource, whatever we have. It's okay if you can't fix it. Thank you very much. God bless us all. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ali. You are being very humble. It has been your decade has been, the journey is very interesting. You know, we would have wished hearing more about it. And my personal belief is we should be proud of adding, doctor in front of our suffix. I mean, yeah, we are veterinarians, and that would probably give us inspirations to many. Yeah. So thank you so much. We have taken a lot of time. I don't know if one or two questions. Okay, fine. No, it was good. It was a great presentation. Thank you so much. So may I now request our eminent speaker, Dr. Sudipto Haldar. He would be speaking on modulation of microbiota gut-brain axis, the future strategy to augment poultry productivity. Dr. Sudipto Haldar.
Perfect. Good morning, everybody. It's still morning. Yeah, thank you. So, quite good presentations. I'm just observing. Dr. Ali Asgar, what he has said that it's difficult to sell concepts unless you have become a brand. The point is that, yes, it is really difficult to sell concept unless we have some brand with us. The main issue is that we are talking about sustainability in poultry production. Sustainability everywhere, wherever you go, in any conference, any seminar, you will find that sustainable poultry production is the main thing. Now, how this sustainability can be achieved? This is a big question. The genetic makeup of the modern birds is so high, it's so sophisticated nowadays, that if there is a bit of problem in anything, be it in the feeding management or in the or in, you can say that simple management system, there will be some problem and we will lose this sustainability we are talking about everywhere. Now, to keep this poultry production sustainable, be it in broiler chickens or it in case of laying hens, we need to think about something that how to maintain the feed intake intact. Because, this nutritional psychiatry is one of the most important points that everybody should keep in mind. Nutritional psychiatry, what does it mean actually? What is nutritional psychiatry? If I ask you a question that, well, you need to take a flight, say now it's just 11:45 and you need to take a flight at say 12:45 and you are still stuck up in a traffic jam. If I offer you something very good food, will you be in a position to enjoy it? Or will you be even think of going for it? I'm sure that you will not, unless you are sure that you're going to miss the flight for sure. So this is called the nutritional psychiatry. This nutritional psychiatry is something which actually is being controlled by the brain, the small intestine, as well as the bacterial population which are present within the small intestine. So these three things actually play consecutively to control the feeding behavior of everybody, be it a human being or animals. So these three must play in consequence so that this nutritional psychiatry can be maintained properly. If the brain remains happy, the bacteria which are present in the small intestine, they also remain happy. And if the bacteria remain happy within the small intestine, they keep on sending some signals to the brain, and the brain actually starts feeling that, well, I'm happy, so I can now eat. And if this eating behavior, the feeding behavior continues, in that case, that should translate into some sort of sustainability, because unless the bird doesn't consume, you will not be in a position to maintain the body weight and performance. So this is a very important thing. Now, this communication between the small intestine, the bacteria, as well as the brain, that actually continues by means of something which we call that dialogue process. A dialogue process always goes on between the brain of the host animal, the bacteria, as well as the physical structure of the small intestine. Generally, what we consider that the bacteria, they enjoy some sort of commensal relationship with the host. But actually, it is not commensalism, but we should say that this is a mutualistic relationship that the bacteria enjoy with the host animal. Why it is mutualistic? Because the host animal, it gives the bacteria some sort of hospitable niche as well as some undigested food. And once the bacteria, they grow inside the animal, what they do, they synthesize some sort of neuroactive peptide compounds, neuroactive compounds. These neuroactive compounds, they impact the central nervous system, especially the enteric nervous system, and this enteric nervous system, and finally, they modulate the small intestine structurally as well as functionally. So that means these bacteria which are present within the gut, they enjoy the food from the animal, and at the same time, they modify the small intestine structurally and functionally so that the host animal thinks about continuing eating or stop eating. So this is the main point. That means it is difficult to say that the bacteria are always enjoying some sort of commensal relationship. Rather, it is a mutualistic or mutualism which actually is going on. Now this dialogue process, what I'm talking about, between the host animal, between the bacteria as well as the small intestine, that actually is mediated by number of neurotransmitter substances. The neurotransmitter substances, they are of different kinds. For example, they may be excitatory, they may be inhibitory, there are some neuromodulator substances, and there are some neurohormones. So these substances are being secreted by the bacteria which are present in the small intestine, and finally, they secrete some sort of secondary mediators. The secondary mediators are actually some sex steroids. They may be adrenocorticotropic hormone, maybe corticosterone, ghrelin, peptide YY, and so many things are there. There is endless counts which are being secreted by the body itself, which actually control the final feeding behavior of the host animal. For example, let us consume a situation. The situation is something like that the bird is being fed with something which is not really digested. That means the feed is being stored in the small intestine for a long period of time. Under that situation, the bird will need that, okay, if the feed is stored for a longer period of time, it needs some sort of enzymatic action, or you can say that some overexpression of the enzymatic action actually, which will help the feed, undigested feed, to be digested easily. Under that situation, the neuromediator substance peptide YY will be secreted by the bird. This peptide YY is a substance which will put some sort of ileal brake. That braking mechanism will work. The braking mechanism will not allow the food to pass through the hind gut. So it will remain for a longer period of time within the gut. It will be exposed to the enzymes for a longer period. And as a result of this, the feed will be digested. So this is how this dialogue process goes on. The host controls the digestion process, and this digestion process in turn is being controlled by the bacteria which are present there. Now, how these neurotransmitter substances work? These neurotransmitter substances work by sending some sort of signals which actually pass through the neural junctions. The neural junctions means there is one neural junction where the neurotransmitter substances come, and then it moves on to the second part, or that means the second neuron. Now this process, this area is called the postsynaptic neuron. This is the presynaptic neuron. Now here from the action potential actually moves from one neuron to the next neuron. And actually it depends on what type of the neurotransmitter is in operation, which actually will control that whether this action potential will move from this neuron to that neuron or it will not. Now there are, as I have told, that there are types of neurotransmitter substances, for example, excitatory or inhibitory. If it is as excitatory neurotransmitter, for example, epinephrine or norepinephrine, then this action potential will move through a gate. The gate will become opened, and as a result of this, the action potential will move from one neuron to the next one. But if it is an inhibitory neurotransmitter substance, for example, gamma-aminobutyric acid or serotonin, the gate will become closed. And the gate becomes closed, in that case, the action potential will not be transferred from the one neuron to the next neuron. That means that there will be some sort of inhibitory or inhibition effect. Now, it is interesting to note that these neurotransmitter substances are not always secreted by the host animal itself, but the neurotransmitter substances are secreted by the bacteria which are present in the small intestine. For example, this dopamine, norepinephrine, serotonin, acetylcholine, all these neurotransmitter substances are secreted by a number of bacteria which are there itself in the gut. And out of this bacteria, there are a number of bacteria, for example, lactobacillus or bifidobacterium or lactococcus, which are being considered as the beneficial or friendly bacteria for the animal. Now, this brain microbiome dialogue, how does it work? Now, there are a number of models. In case of human beings, the model says that the gut microbes produce some neurotransmitters which travel to the brain via the vagus nerve and then sends a signal to the brain, and the brain accordingly works. The second mechanism which says that these, depending upon the situation, for example, if there is an impending infection or impending threat of some attack on the small intestinal wall. In that case, the microbes, they will secrete some neurotransmitter which will stimulate the brain to secrete more amount of the cytokines. Cytokines means which will fight against infection by means of, they're providing immunity. And the third mechanism says that they will produce some metabolites which will travel through the blood or will stimulate the vagus nerve to send important messages to the brain, and the brain will then act accordingly to control the feeding behavior and to sustain the growth or not. Now, if this is the concept that if these neurotransmitter substances can be translated into a product or into something which can be supplemented externally into the bird, in that case, probably this question of sustainability can be solved to a great extent. Now, if we go for searching these neurotransmitter substances, there we should search for something which is the right candidate. Now, what may be the right candidate? The right candidate, they should have these properties. For example, they should be inhibitory in nature. They should not allow the neurotransmission to pass on from the one nerve ending to the next one. They should have some blunting effect on the action potentials. And finally, they should have some calming effect on the brain so that it can sequester the inflammatory responses that is present in the gastrointestinal tract mucosa. The main objective of preparing or coming up with such a product is just to conserve the nutrients which will ultimately be used for growth promotion. Now, one of the candidates is gamma-aminobutyric acid. Why this is so? This gamma-aminobutyric acid is basically a neuroinhibitory substance which is produced by some brain cells, which is produced locally in the small intestine, as well as it is produced locally by a number of bacteria which are present there. Now, this is the main mechanism of action of this gamma-aminobutyric acid is that it inhibits the acetylcholinesterase function. This acetylcholinesterase function is such a function which actually is inhibitory for the growth of animals because it in turn stimulates the renin-angiotensin system. And if the renin-angiotensin system is stimulated, actually this down-regulates the insulin-like growth factor functions. What this gamma-aminobutyric acid does, it actually inhibits the acetylcholinesterase system, and as a result of this, the insulin-like growth factor function is upregulated. And once this insulin-like growth factor action is upregulated, we can expect there will be protein accretion, so there will be increased muscle mass, performance will be more, there will be more there will be more burning of the body fat, so burning of body fat will provide more energy for the amino acids to be incorporated into the muscle mass, and finally, there should be more performance enhancement. So this is how this gamma-aminobutyric acid may be considered as one of the candidates which can be explored to impart sustainability in future poultry production. Now, these inhibitory properties of gamma-aminobutyric acid is actually quite interesting because it can stimulate the feed intake. As I was saying that this neuroendocrine behavior is very much important in sustaining the poultry production because one needs to maintain the feed intake properly under different conditions. This is very interesting because you can see here that in number of breeds, this black bird is for the cob and the gray bird is for the Ross breed. So in both the breeds, this gamma-aminobutyric acid, it stimulates the upregulation or upregulated the functions of two orexigenic genes. One is the agouti-related protein gene and another one is the neuropeptide Y. So both these genes are upregulated under the influence of this gamma-aminobutyric acid. And this happens even in presence of heat stress. So this is possible that with this gamma-aminobutyric acid, the feed intake can be stimulated even in absence of or in presence of stress. Now, if we consider some detail of the effect of the gamma-aminobutyric acid, which is one of the inhibitory substances, so this actually number of research has been conducted. And more than 80% of the research says or shows that under the stressful conditions, especially when the chickens are exposed to heat stress, application of gamma-aminobutyric acid can stimulate feed intake, can promote growth, as well as can improve performance, the feed conversion ratio. Now, this is another example that how these inhibited neurotransmitter substances can check infection, or you can say that can stimulate immunity. This is important because I'm just picking up here this gamma aminobutyric acid as an example because the results are available with this molecule only. Now, if I consider this one, there is one direct effect. The direct effect means it stimulates the synthesis and secretion of the secretory immunoglobulin in the small intestinal mucosa. So if any product is there which can stimulate the synthesis of the secretory immunoglobulin in the small intestinal mucosa, that is going to benefit the bird's health because it is providing some sort of local immunity. And at the same time, it is going to prevent the loss of, that nutrients by means of inhibiting the peristaltic movements in the hind gut. So if the peristaltic movement in the hind gut is restricted, in that case, the bird will lose less amount of water, less amount of fecal materials because of these constrictory properties. As a result, there will be conservation of the nutrients, and so there will be a couple of benefits with the application of this inhibited neurotransmitter substance. Now, there is one confusion that whether increasing the dose of an neuroinhibited transmitter substance is ultimately beneficial or not. And if what will happen that if it continues for a long period of time, to be honest, the data is not really available to that extent. But so far, within a short limit of dose effect and a short limit of, time effect, the available data actually shows that there should not be any negative impact of applying the neuroinhibitory substances in the feeding regimen or in the drinking regimen of chickens. For example, if incremental dose regimen is applied, in that case, body weight gain, feed conversion ratio, as well as immune properties, which was measured in terms of immunoglobulin levels in blood, both are improved, all are improved. Similarly, if keeping the dose level same, if the duration is increased, in that case also, positive effects on feed intake, feed conversion ratio, as well as immune properties like immunoglobulin level, CD8 cell activities, the activity of the spleen as well as the bursa, everything was improved. So depending on the available literature, available data, it can be said that within a short period, within a short dosage regimen, and within a short period of application, it is possible that the neuroinhibitory substances can improve the performance even if it continues for a longer period of time. Probably, this is going to be the future of the products or future of the concept. Now, it is possible that there are neuroinhibitory substance producing bacterial cells which are present in the small intestine. So, by means of genetic engineering, it is very much possible that those particular segments can be cut, those segments can be put in a carrier bacteria, and finally this carrier bacteria can be converted into a big product which can be supplemented to the birds, and finally this may help in sustaining the performance in future. So if I try to sum up, so this may be something like that the candidate molecule which is going to be developed in future, so they should have something, they may be applied from the outside or they may be developed inside, whatever it may be, they should have a complementary action. And finally, they should have certain properties. For example, it should improve the local and the systemic immunity. It should sequester the pro-inflammatory changes in the gut mucosa. It should upregulate the orexigenic genes so that the feed intake continues. And finally, it should have some positive effect on the performance in terms of body weight and feed conversion ratio. That's it. So if there is any question, you can ask me.
Hello. Thank you, Dr. Sudipto.
Thank you very much.
I like that communication between gut, microbes, and the brain.
Main thing is that whether I could communicate well with you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So any questions for Dr. Sudipto? Okay, fine. So he's around if anybody wants to.
Yeah, you can reach me anyway.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the presentation. So may I now invite Meghal Singh for her presentation on farm to fork digitalized approach. Meghal. Sorry?
Thank you, sir. There is a very brief announcement. We are very happy to have Dr. Gaura Dubey ma'am here, and she is the chairman of Phoenix Group, Jabalpur. We welcome you, ma'am. And I request Dr. Lakshmi Chauhan from Department of Poultry Science to please welcome Gaura ma'am. We welcome you, ma'am, on this conference. Thank you very much, sir. And I hand over the session back to Chairman. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and all the dignitaries present here. Today, I'm going to talk about on a very trending topic, farm to fork concept and digital approach in it. So, the outline of the session is we're first going to talk about what is farm to fork concept, technology transformation and business gap. Then we'll also understand end-to-end farm-to-fork cycle. And lastly, we'll talk about benefit and challenges of this concept. To begin with, we all know what is farm-to-fork concept, where you get your produce from the farm and sell it through your direct selling channels without any large distribution network. Well, this concept came into existence in 90s where people started demanding for local, fresh, organic food products. And by 2000, we started seeing the transformation in these lines. So now the question is, when this concept is not new, why is it trending now? It is only because of the digital approach and the technology transformation in these lines. Like the quote states, the biggest part of our digital transformation is changing the way we think. So coming to the year 2014, where brands like Zomato and Swiggy, through their digital approach, changed the mindset of the people and made them believe that food can be ordered online too. Few individuals took advantage of this opportunity and took a thought out of the box, and year 2015, many online meat brands came into this picture. Now, why this shift and growing popularity? In recent days, there has been an increased health concern over quality of meat and egg products and demand of fresh, antibiotic residue-free chicken products. Due to this end-to-end farm-to-fork concept, related brands have been able to deliver the right methods and backgrounds of how these livestock business has been carried out by breaking the age-old misconceptions and myths of the consumers. Increased consumer awareness of food safety issues and environmental concern has contributed to the growth of farm-to-fork concept over the last few years. Nowadays, quality and health-conscious consumers are increasing, and they need environmentally safe, chemical residue-free, healthy foods along with product traceability and high standards of animal welfare. These all can be achieved by farm-to-fork digital approach. Now, there is only 3% of poultry processing which is contributing in the poultry farming industry. It is not that this concept is new to poultry industry. Companies like Sugna, Delfres and Venky's are already doing it, but with a conventional approach. Now this shift from conventional way of doing business to online meat brands, meat startups, and providing hygienic and clean retail stores and value addition took place and became very popular and trending only because they all were bridging the gap in the society by providing fresh, clean, hygienic, hassle-free buying of the chicken and providing them with attractive-looking packaging with better experiences in just one click. For example, brands like Licious, Fresh to Home, Meatigo are tech companies which have showcased their products wonderfully on tech platforms and fortunately served a big issue in the society of getting fresh meat online, and that's only because of they connected the dots between the farm to fork and the use of technology. In a span of 5 years, many new poultry brands or the established companies have revived their business concept and have successfully entered into the poultry processing sector that offers farm to fork concept with a digital approach. Back, please. So in year 2017, I also started my own version of farm to fork brand. At first, it was a legacy family business as my father, Dr. Mahendra Singh, is into poultry farming and production from last 32 years. I further extended his business and came into poultry processing and introduced my own style of farm to fork poultry startup in Bhopal, Mommy's Chicken, which contributes a portion in the poultry industry where it understands the standards set by the sector, adheres to measures such as no loss to farmer and no misguiding to the consumers, a poultry processing web-based online startup focusing on farm to fork concept running in Bhopal from last 5 years with over 12,000 plus customers in tier 2 city, catering to retail and retail as well as B2B clients. Bringing the safest and most premium quality chicken on table, Mommy's Chicken pioneers in Bhopal, introducing the concept of pre-processing and ready-to-cook marinated chicken range, providing hassle-free experience of buying chicken. We focus on home deliveries and pre-processed ready-to-cook marinated chicken. As you can see here, we have our own back-end poultry setup, breeder farm, hatchery, broiler farming, and feed manufacturing plant. We have developed our own processing unit, which have slaughtering section, cleaning and chilling area, after which we move to phase 2 of our processing, where value addition is done like portioning of chicken. We have our own base kitchen, where chefs prepare the marinades and ready-to-cook chicken products. After this process, we move to our last phase, packaging. The products are packed, weighed, and labeled respectively. The packed products are now ready to be delivered to the customers with full back-end delivery system. Now let us understand end-to-end cycle of farm to fork. So first comes production. Once the production is done, the produced birds are fetched from the farms and should be transported in plastic crates to avoid any fractures or bruises in the birds. Second is slaughtering and processing. The produced birds are then slaughtered in the slaughterhouse by abiding the slaughtering techniques, which are very important. Once the birds are reached to the proper size and weight, workers are trained enough in a way that each bird at the farm is handpicked. Before slaughtering, we give proper rest, food and water to the birds and rest is given for minimum of 4 to 5 hours. At Mommy's Chicken, each bird is humanly slaughtered. Further, chicken is deboned, trimmed and cut into various parts. In many cases, these parts can be processed with seasoning, spices, marinades or other ingredients for consumers. Secondary processing may occur in which parts are converted to ready-to-eat products such as sausages and nuggets. To prepare different range of product, different size of the bird is used, which is also a very important thing. Different size gives the edge to the product quality. Now coming to the packaging, packaging of chicken depends upon product being made. Vacuum sealed tray packaging or zip pouch packaging is now most liked and used. Attractive looking packaging also grabs attention of the consumers. You can see our packaging over there. This is mommy's chicken packaging. So once the final packaging is done, then the chicken is kept in 0 to 4 degrees temperature in chillers, which enhances the shelf life by 2 to 3 days. In case you want to enhance shelf life for more than 2 to 3 days, you can do nitrogen sealed packaging, which enhances to up to 12 to 15 days. Now coming to the distribution, is the process that links processing unit to retail stores. Logistics service provides special cold storage vehicles to transport chicken meat, as it is a perishable food item which needs proper temperature maintenance throughout. Now coming to retail, retail is an important aspect. Sellers or staff can showcase chicken products to consumers and provide them with easy and hassle-free access and ordering system to buy chicken with easy payment options. By doing so, one can eliminate one of the biggest problems of the society, providing them with modern, clean and hygienic place to buy chicken with better facilities and variety of chicken products. So currently we have 3 outlets of Mommy's Chicken in Bhopal. Coming to consumers, which is the last stage of this end-to-end cycle, consumers have been more health conscious and are willing to adapt better clean eating habits by showing their inclination towards clean and fresh antibiotic-free chicken products, which give them value addition at affordable price. At Mommy's Chicken, we have wide variety of products with fixed and cyclic menu, which keeps the interest of the customers on point. And we not just sell chicken, we also run a lot of consumer awareness programs and try to educate our customers. The above farm to fork steps, the above farm to fork steps provide a neat way to describe the chicken distribution supply chain. However, if you need efficiency, end-to-end security and seamless operations, then it will be through the support of technology. Back-end ERP system, billing system and user-friendly order-taking mechanism like website or mobile-based application allows organization to have production and distribution channels achieve full traceability and true value chain transparency. Also enables authentication and real-time monitoring at any required unit level, facilitating audit verifications, quality checks, accounting management, and check on leakages. Delivery system for door-to-door services is a value addition in the service line. Effective delivery system can boost your sales anytime. So to deliver such chicken products, insulated delivery bags should be used in order to maintain temperature of chilled chicken packs during the home deliveries. At Mommy's Chicken, we have dedicated delivery team that delivers in 90 minutes from the time of ordering. To run such business, we need few certifications and license also, like food license, FASSI. Then if you have a processing plant, then you need a certification HACCP, which is Hazard Analysis and Critical Control Point. And you also need ISO certification. Coming to the last part, which is waste management, you can have rendering plant to convert waste products into fertilizers or dog food. So here you can see we have dog food, sell chicken bones and chicken carcass in form of dog food and liver and gizzard in form of cat and puppy food. Then also staff training, which is very important. As Ali sir mentioned, team and staff is really important to carry forward your business. So your frontline staff should be trained enough to deliver right information to the consumers and take feedbacks from them. Marketing and advertisement, which is my favorite topic, and it also plays a very important role. So no matter how important chicken, how nutritional or good chicken and eggs are, or whatever protein content they have, if you don't have the right marketing strategy, you won't be able to sell it, or you won't be able to boost your sales. So right marketing strategy is very important. Marketing channels like social media marketing, leaflet, pamphlet distribution, word of mouth publicity plays a key role in this concept. Mass advertisement in newspaper, radio promotion helps in branding. So at Mommy's Chicken, we focus on digital marketing for mass and cost-effective marketing and branding. We target our women customers and run women awareness campaigns, because we believe that we provide a facility for all the women consumers who can come freely at our stores or can freely order through our online websites. So talking about the benefits of farm to fork concept. Farm to fork helps to get better profit margins that boost the overall profitability of the poultry farmer, who is not dependent on local market rates to sell its produce. This concept is a win-win situation for both consumers and producers. The consumer gets fresh chicken with value addition, and the poultry farmer gets chance to brand its produce chicken and get recognition for their work as well as guaranteed business. Farm to fork is now extremely popular trend, and associating your business with the trend can help bring in customers. It can help environment and society from getting polluted, as roadside slaughtering and dirty unhygienic butcher shops creates pollution and gives unpleasant buying experience to the buyers. This concept also helps in increasing the nutritional value and freshness of the chicken, also gives good profits by doing value addition to it. This system also creates end-to-end security and value chain system. Now, lastly, I'll talk about the challenges. So the only challenge I think in this concept is that there are no such institutes for startups or for individual like us who wants to pursue in this line. In my case, I have learned everything on my own, and I've been struggling and learning every day. It's been 5 years that I'm doing this business, and every day is a learning day for me. So by hit and trial method, we keep on pursuing every day, and we bring in customers to our online and retail stores. With this, I would like to show a small video of our farm to fork end-to-end model. I think there's a audio issue in that video. So this is our poultry farm. This is actually a very old video. When we initially started, it's like 5 years back. By this, I would like to end my presentation, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Miguel, for a wonderful presentation and taking us through your startup journey from farm to fork, and that trying on your, some digital flavor into connecting with consumers. Any questions anybody may have?
I think by now everyone is hungry. Farm to fork concept.
Yeah. No, you are more clear. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
So thank you. So we end this session now with 5 eminent speakers. Thank you so much, our co-chair, Dr. Gagan Garg, and Rapporteur, Dr. Hanumantra. Thank you so much.
From the part of organizers, I would like to thank the elite panelists and the key speakers of this session. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to take this opportunity to felicitate the key speakers and the panelists. I request our beloved Dean, Dr. R.K. Sharma Sir, to present the key speakers, that is the key speaker, Dr. Milind Chavak, with a memento and shawl as token of our love. Dr. Milind Chavak. Thank you, sir. Now I'd request Dr. Aditya Mishra, DSW, NDVSU Jabalpur, to felicitate Mr. Ajit M. Gunashegara. I'll kindly request Mr. Gunashegara, sir, to come to the dais. Thank you, sir. Now, I would request Dr. Giriraj Goyal to felicitate Dr. Ali Asgar. Goyal, sir. Now I would request Dr. Rahul, Assistant Professor Nutrition, to felicitate Dr. Sudipto Haldar. Dr. Sudipto Haldar, I humbly request you to come to the stage. Dr. Sudipto. Now, a final keynote speaker, Ms. Meghal Singh. I would request Dr. Rakhi Vais, Professor and Head Anatomy, to felicitate Ms. Meghal Singh. I humbly request Ms. Meghal Singh and Dr. Rakhi Vais to come to the stage. Thank you. Now it's time to honor our elite panelist. On behalf of NDVSU, I would like to say that we are immensely grateful to all the panelists who have spared some of their valuable time in making this conference a successful one. And so I would again request our beloved Dean, Dr. R.K. Sharma sir, to do the honors. Sir, kindly come to the dais and facilitate our beloved panelist. First, our chairman of the section, Manish Jain sir. Then the co-chairman of the session, Dr. Gagan Garg. We also request you to felicitate the rapporteur of the session, Dr. B. Hanmant Rao. Thank you, sir. Next, we'll have the brainstorming session. We'll start the brainstorming session shortly.
Thank you very much. Now we are going to initiate the last session of this conference, that is brainstorming session for industry academia to augment the Indian poultry industry growth. Chairman for this session, we have Dr. I'm sorry, we had the poster session going on, and the chairman, co-chairman, rapporteurs are here, and I request Dr. Hari to kindly resume the felicitation.
I'd also like to facilitate the chairman, co-chairman, and rapporteur of the poster sessions. I would request our Honorable Director of Instruction, S.S. Thomas, to do the honors. I'll welcome to the stage the chairman of the poster, Dr. A.S. Yadav. The co-chairman of the session, Dr. Deepashri Desai. And the rapporteur session, Dr. Gautam Kalluri. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. And we also welcome Professor Sita Prasad Tiwari, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Nanaji Deshmukh Veterinary Science University in the session. And now we are going to initiate the last session of this conference. And the theme of this session is brainstorming session for industry academia to augment the Indian poultry industry growth. And chairman for this session, we have Dr. G. Devagowda, sir. He is a professor emeritus at University of Agricultural Sciences, Bangalore. Co-chairman for this session is Dr. Akash Maheshwari, country head of USA Transform in India. And rapporteur for this session is Dr. Ramchandra Ramteke, Assistant Professor, Animal Nutrition, Veterinary College, Durg. I request the panel to please come on stage for the conduction of this session. Dr. Devagowda, sir, as chairman for this session, Dr. Akash Maheshwari as co-chairman, and Dr. Ramchandra Ramteke as rapporteur for this session. I'll briefly introduce the chairman of this session. Dr. Devagowda, sir, has the doctorate degree in animal sciences from the University of Minnesota, USA. I'll just take one more announcement. And we had Dr. Gaura Dubey ma'am here, and she had to leave because of certain reasons. In this regard, I request the Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, Tiwari, sir, to kindly felicitate Gaura ma'am for her presence over here. She's the chairman of Phoenix Group over here at Jabalpur. And ma'am is doing an excellent job in this sector. Being a lady, we are very proud of her. Thank you very much, ma'am. Now back to the session. We have Dr. Devagowda, sir, as chairman for this session, and he has a doctorate degree in animal sciences from the University of Minnesota, USA, and he is also a recipient of many prestigious awards, including the Biotechnology Medal of Excellence. And he has also worked as visiting scientist and professor at North American Biosciences Center, USA, and he has visited more than 75 countries for scientific sessions. Sir has worked as professor and head at Division of Agricultural Sciences, Bangalore, and presently he is an independent nutritionist and president of Institution of Veterinarians of Poultry Industry. With this note, I welcome the panel over here on stage and hand over the session to them for the smooth conduction of this session. Thank you.
Sir, time is very short. I think with the permission of organizers, shall I take 30 minutes? What do you say, sir? Shall I take 30 minutes total? Now it is 12:45. 1:15 you will complete, sir. This is the session on industry, academia, interaction, discussion. Sir, my co-chairperson, reporter, both of them are there. They also contribute. Sir, the first question to begin with, now the cost of production of broiler, I think all of you know, sir, is 100 rupees a kilogram of broiler. Whereas cost of selling of broiler is 70 to 80 rupees. How to great loss? Of course, this is keep on fluctuating in a year. What is the solution? What is the solution? Any participant to present here, surely you can give input. Or you can ask any question, one by at least we'll solve some 2 to 3 questions which are important to our poultry industry, both for integration, free for open farming, for them. So the first question, I don't know how many you like it. So anybody can answer this question. Again, I will repeat. The cost of production of feed is 100 rupees per kilo of chicken, whereas we are selling the chicken at 70 to 80 rupees. There is a great loss. How to make it up? Anybody can answer. Anybody, sir. Because we have to provide answer to the farmers. We have to provide answers to the academia, industry, whatever it is. This is the toughest question. If we can answer, if we can survive, everybody can survive. Right, sir. Let us see. Dr. Pattabhiram has a great experience working in the industry. Now he is working for Nando's Chicken, or let us see some other people who are sitting in the audience. Quite a lot of people are sitting here. Of course, let us see, Kadam also is working in the university. Of course, Dr. Ranade, very highly experienced. Instead of giving to Dr. Ranade, let us see, somebody else can take it up also. Right. Sir, anybody else can take up this question? Anybody can take up this question. Or if this question is unable to answer, Dr. Pattabhiram would like to. Please, we'll give the mic to Dr. Pattabhiram, or you can come over, Dr. Pattabhiram. Come over, come quickly. Dr. Pattabhiram from the Nando's Feeds, Bangalore, is a highly qualified nutritionist, working more than 25 years in the field of nutrition. Dr. Pattabhiram, please.
Good afternoon to everyone. As Professor said, the production cost is high and our selling price is low. So only thing what we can do is we have to improve the efficiency of farm performance. And as far as the feed is concerned, we are now mainly depending on the corn and soybean meal. We must think of using the alternative sources, like say for example DDGS. DDGS is a very good ingredient, but many of the nutritionists, we hesitate to use this because of the quality issues. So we, as a poultry feed manufacturers, we should try to educate the DDGS producers, because initially when we were using soybean meal, we used to have a lot of quality issues. Now the solvent people have understood our quality requirements. So similarly, now with the government of India promoting the production of ethanol, and the ethanol mixing in the petrol is targeted to be 20% by 2025. So a lot of broken rice also will go to ethanol production, and DDGS availability will be higher. So when the availability will be higher, the cost also will be less. So we should talk to the those ethanol producing manufacturers and then educate them about this mycotoxin issue and the moisture content in the DDGS. So this is one thing, using of the alternative ingredients and reducing the feed cost. And of course, the efficiency improvement. See, we talk so much about biosecurity. Every conference we discuss about biosecurity, but actually if you go to the poultry farms in India, whatever we talk here, the situations are totally different at the farm level. So by tightening the biosecurity, I am sure we can reduce the mortality percentage, we can increase the, improve the FCRs. That is one way. And second major thing is, now 70% of the Indian broiler production is under the integrators. So we all should try to sell our own produce. So now Ms. Meghal Singh talked about digital marketing. So instead of depending on the middlemen, we should try to sell our own produce and get a better realization. That is what I feel, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Pattabhiram. It was a very tough question. He was really able to answer to a great extent. I myself would not have answered. It is easy for me to ask question, but I would not have answered. Dr. Pattabhiram was my student. Students, they do better than professor. That is all, that is how it is. And okay, sir, I will come to the second question. I am sure our co-chairman, reporter, any question most welcome to ask, because to move up in order to cut short the time. So the next question would be, sir, the processing of chicken in our country, live market, or what you call as a wet market. I am sure Dr. Ranande, Dr. Shuklaji, and all, Dr. Ajit Vermaji, all are here. It is more than, it is somewhere 90% the wet processing or live. Am I correct, Dr. Ranade, or somewhere 85% at least wet processing, live processing. Now we want to increase what we call mechanical processing by reducing the pollution. Reduce the wet processing, that is our solution. That is what we are looking, so that the meat will be clean, pollution will reduce, the bacterial load will reduce. Dr. Jitendra Verma, that is their objective, to reduce the bacterial load, reduce the pollution, food safety, that is the theme of this conference. So this is how we are to do it. Sir, Dr. Ajit Ranade, sir, you have such a wonderful experience. I would like to hear from you, sir.
Thank you, sir, and good afternoon. Very rightly pointed out, the first question, and of course, Patta also replied very well. And the same story continues in the second question as well. See, what I personally feel is that our Honorable Prime Minister is talking about doubling of the farmers' income. Now, we have thought about it quite a lot. But we realize that for doubling the farmers' income, doubling the production is not the solution. We need to go for farm-related but non-farm activities if we have to do the doubling of the production or doubling of the profits. And all that relates to the marketing. So far, in so many decades, sir, I'm sorry to say, but we have been producing, and we are selling. Many of the people don't know the difference between selling and marketing. To produce something and sell is a different story, but to produce something and to create a market and market that product innovatively is something different. I really appreciate the efforts of that last speaker and a lot of other people in South, in Karnataka, Nandu's Chicken and all those people. The efforts for marketing are very much needed. And because of the COVID, let's put it this way, looking at the better side or brighter side of that, people have understood the importance of cleanliness, sanitation, disinfection, and of course the healthy diet. And for that, the processing is must. Previously, people had bad experience with processing. Even when we were students, we knew that the traders, they inject water and freeze the birds, and when they sell, the weight is more. By the time the thawing is complete, the water melts out and you get a smaller bird in your hands. Now all those experiences are there, but now the things have changed, the technology have changed, and people have started accepting ready to cook, ready to eat products. The emphasis should be given on that. Marketing of such products should increase. Fortunately, the consumer awareness has gone up. People are now interested in knowing about the traceability, from where the product has come, which farm the birds have come, how they have been processed, where they have been processed. So all these things have added to our benefit of increasing the market share of the processed products, ready to eat or ready to cook products, and gradually the wet market will go down. And also one more aspect which Pattabhiraman touched was about the pollution. In cities from where I come from, Mumbai, the laws have been very, very stringent. The shop owners, the wet market shop owners are really having a very tough time in dealing with waste disposal or maintaining the cleanliness of the shops and etc. We at Mumbai Veterinary College have developed a retail counter of selling the products, selling the chicken in a clean way. So likewise, basically we need to do the simultaneous effort of educating the people, telling the importance of processed meat, establishing slaughterhouses. Where are slaughterhouses? Government is not supporting by constructing slaughterhouses. Only the private people are doing the slaughter at some place or the other and trying to sell. So the facilities, the infrastructure, the cold chain, vans of transporting the dressed chicken, all this chain needs to be established. Simultaneously, consumer education is also needed, and the importance of cleanliness, biosecurity and clean meat should be there. I am sure gradually, no doubt it will be a slow process, but gradually the share of wet market will go down and the share of processed market will increase. And that's because of the young generation. Because the young generation is very well aware about all these things and they are demanding, they are asking for traceability and all other aspects. Obviously, the concepts are changing and slowly we are seeing the shift from the wet market to the dressed market, and that is how we must encourage the processing, and that would help, the industry to earn more. Thank you very much.
Sir, thank you, Dr. Ajit Ranade. Very, very good answer. Sir, our co-chairman would like to ask a question. Please.
Hello, good afternoon. How can we improve or increase post-service technology and value addition in poultry product? How can we improve or increase post-service technology and value addition in poultry products?
So the question is the value addition. Value addition, yeah, that is the one, sir. And somebody is coming up already. We are extremely happy. The value addition, it is very, very important. Sir, please, your name, sir? Your name?
Myself, Dr. Ajit Singh Yadav.
Both.
Presently, I am Director, National Institute of Animal Health, Government of India at Bagpat.
Very good, sir.
Previously, near about 30 years, I served Central Avian Research Institute in various capacities, being scientist, senior scientist and principal scientist. And over there I was head post-harvest technology and the health section. Actually, your question relates that how the time has come that whether we can go for such live market sale or we have to go for the processing or for the further processing. Now, the time has come that the consumer, they are becoming much conscious about the preference of the meat products which are very nutritious and maybe health enhancing. In that sense, we have to go for the quality enhancement both during production with targeting some of the health attribute to be enhanced in the meat. And also we have to formulate the products, and right now we are fortunate being the G20 leading country in the world, and fortunately we have gone for the International Year of Millet. Now at our institute at CRI, we have developed many products, and those products, they were targeted to have functionality. Right now, the consumer needs the functionality. If you can enhance the functionality in the final meat product, whether it is the protein content, whether it is the reduction of the cholesterol, whether it is some of the vitamins to be enhanced. So there we have formulated many products, and they have been marketed also. What you can say that we have shared these products for the market, and there the target is that some of the aspects which are lacking in the cereals, they can be impregnated, combined with the meat product or the egg product. Right now we have formulated the low cholesterol, low sugar, egg biscuit combined with the millets, and that has a great potential to what you can say sell in the market. Like that, we can increase the income of the entrepreneurs by thinking on these lines. Now many food-based products, they are coming very fast in our country. Like that, we have to enhance our capability for such type of formulations. We have to go such type of entrepreneurship startups so that they can take up such type of issue, and we can go for the enhancing the income of the poultry. Thank you very much.
Sir, very good, sir. The current concept, inclusion of millet, fantastic, sir. That is what the country is looking. Minimize the rice and go for millet and alternative grains and so on. Sir, already we have taken 15-20 minutes. Not that I want to cut, because I am sure already lunch time is coming, and a couple of people has to travel, they have to catch the flight. Sir, with your permission, with the permission of the organizers, with the permission, maybe we will close this session if the permission of the organizers. Amita is okay, Amita and all. We will close this session. And if there is any question during lunch time, Dr. Ranade Saab and all, absolutely with all your permission. Mukund, is it okay, Mukund? Mukund, with lot of students, he has come. Good. With this, we will conclude with this, sir. Thank you very much for all of you for cooperating. Thank you, sir.
So this marks the end of this last session. That was brainstorming session for Industry Academia to augment the Indian poultry industry growth. We thank the panel for the smooth conduction of the same. And we also thank on behalf of the organizing committee, and we would like to felicitate the chairman, co-chairman, rapporteur. And I request Dr. Aditya Mishra, sir, to kindly come on stage for the felicitation of the chairman, co-chairman, and rapporteur of the session. So, chairing the session, we had Dr. G. Devagoda, sir. Thank you, sir. Now I request to kindly felicitate the co-chairman of this session, Dr. Akash Maheshwari, sir. He is the country head of USAID Transform in India. Thank you, sir. And we had Dr. Ramchandra Ramteke as rapporteur for this session. Dr. Ramteke is Assistant Professor Animal Nutrition at Veterinary College, Durg. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now we are going to begin the valedictory session shortly. You are all requested to please be here for the same.
ओके ना, क्लियर क्लियर।
तो पहले आपके नाम से शुरू कर देंगे और कैसा लगा कॉन्फ्रेंस, कैसा था 2 दिन का, हाउ वाज योर एक्सपीरियंस, लेट्स शेयर।
ओके, मैं डॉक्टर एसपी तिवारी, नानाजी देशमुख पशु चिकित्सा विज्ञान विश्वविद्यालय का कुलपति हूँ। और एक 24 और 25 2 दिन हमारा जो एक ग्लोबल मीट रखा गया था, और वेटरनरी का जो एक इंटरनेशनल लेवल का एक एसोसिएशन होता है पोल्ट्री का, तो उसके तहत जो इंडिया में सेकंड है, और इसमें देश और विदेश के साइंटिस्ट लोग जुड़े थे। ख़ास तौर पे जो विदेश से आने वाले साइंटिस्ट हैं उनमें से जापान से थे, अमेरिका से थे, चेकोस्लोवाकिया से थे, और श्रीलंका से थे, और इस तरह से और दूसरे कंट्रीज़ के लोग थे, और इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट थे। उनमें से चीफ एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑफिसर्स डिफरेंट जो कंट्रीज़ हैं उनके मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर्स, चेयरमैन्स, हमारे साइंटिस्ट, छात्रगण, वो समस्त इसमें हिस्सा लिए हैं। और इसका मेन उद्देश्य ये था कि जो पोल्ट्री में डिसीजेस होती है उस डिसीज़ का हम किस तरह से हम उपचार करें, और कौन कौन सी नई टेक्नोलॉजी के माध्यम से इसमें विकास करें, और कुछ हम एक टेक्नोलॉजी भी यहाँ पे डेवलप करें। तो एक बड़ा यही इनोवेटिव कॉन्फ्रेंस हुआ यहाँ पे, और सभी लोगों ने अपने अपने एक्सपीरियंसेस को शेयर किए, और साथ ही साथ नया टेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में काफ़ी चर्चाएं हुई। जैसे कि बीमारी के संबंध में यदि हम देखें तो वैक्सीन डेवलपमेंट हम कैसे करेंगे। आज आपने देखा होगा कि पिछले ही कुछ महीनों पहले रादर, और इवन हर साल होता रहता है कि जो एवियन इन्फ्लुएंजा बर्ड फ्लू के नाम से जानी जाती है, उसमें कितने करोड़ों जो मुर्गियां मरती हैं, और उसका एक डर भी बना रहता है कि अपने ह्यूमन हेल्थ के लिए भी, क्योंकि हमारा जो ह्यूमन बीइंग है वो एनिमल प्रोटीन के रूप में, चाहे वो एग हो और चाहे मीट हो, उसका सेवन करता है। तो उन सब चीज़ों के बारे में जिससे कि हम अच्छा बायोसिक्योरिटी मेजर लें और आगे आने वाले दिनों में इस तरह की स्थिति पैदा ना हो। हमारे जो एक बायोसिक्योरिटी से संबंधित और जो निषाद है भोपाल में, एशिया में अपने आप में एक अकेला इस तरह का इंस्टीट्यूट है, उसके डायरेक्टर, उसके साइंटिस्ट भी इसमें भाग लिए हैं। तो हम इसको किस तरह से आगे मुर्गी पालकों तक ले जाएं, उनकी अर्थव्यवस्था को किस तरह से सुदृढ़ करें, और कौन कौन से तरीके हो सकते हैं। जैसे कि हम एक ऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर की बात करते हैं, अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर की बात करते हैं। जब हम ऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर की बात करते हैं तो उसमें पूरे मार्केट शेयर में ऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर 80% अपना रोल प्ले करता है। लेकिन जब हम अनऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर की बात करते हैं, जिसको कि स्पेशली हम बैकयार्ड पोल्ट्री की बात कहते हैं, तो उसमें 20% के आसपास शेयर होता है। तो जो हमारे गरीब तबका है, लैंडलेस है, उसके पास कोई ज़मीन नहीं है, तो वो क्या करे। तो उसके लिए इस तरह का जो शासन की योजनाएं हैं, प्लस हमारे जो NGOs ग्रुप है, और जो हमारी इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट है जो नई नई तकनीकी पशुपालकों तक पहुंचाते हैं, उसके माध्यम से वो अपनी लिवलीहुड को काफ़ी अच्छा कर सकते हैं। इनकम जनरेशन की बात कर सकते हैं, उनकी जो इनकम होती है उस इनकम में सप्लीमेंटेशन कर सकते हैं, और इस तरह से उनकी आर्थिक व्यवस्था अच्छी हो जाती है। अब वो कुछ ऐसे हमारी सोसाइटीज़ होती हैं, कोऑपरेटिव्स होती हैं, जैसे भी मध्य प्रदेश में MPPCL भी है, उसके माध्यम से जो ट्राइबल एरिया है, ख़ास तौर पे जो वीमेंस हैं वो पार्टिसिपेट कर रही हैं, उससे उनकी आर्थिक स्थिति काफ़ी अच्छी हो रही है। और इस तरह से ये पूरी जो इस तरह की कोऑपरेटिव्स होती है वो अलग अलग स्टेट्स में, चाहे वो झारखंड हो, चाहे वो आसाम हो, चाहे मध्य प्रदेश हो, आगे महाराष्ट्र की तरफ भी हम लोग बढ़ रहे हैं। तो सोचते हैं कि इसमें जो हमारे गरीब तबका है, जो पुअरेस्ट ऑफ द पुअर है, किस तरह से उसकी आर्थिक स्थिति को हम बढ़ाएं। तो ये मेन उद्देश्य तो वहीं तक है। और बाकी जो एक ब्रॉयलर है और लेयर है, तो ब्रॉयलर और लेयर के बारे में भी चूँकि एक एनिमल प्रोटीन का एक बहुत अच्छा साधन होता है, और बहुत ऐसे जो भी हम लोग फूड लेते हैं उसमें प्रोटीन्स की कमी रहती है। तो इसके माध्यम से, अंडे के माध्यम से, पोल्ट्री मीट के माध्यम से, चाहे वो गुड क्वालिटी, अच्छी क्वालिटी, हाईली डाइजेस्टिबल क्वालिटी प्रोटीन हो, चाहे वो एमिनो एसिड्स हो, चाहे वो विटामिन B हो, जितने सारे हैं ट्रेस एलिमेंट्स जो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं अपने स्वास्थ्य के लिए, अपने हेल्थ के लिए, और जो डिसीज़ के लिए, उस संबंध में बात हुई है। इसके साथ साथ जो हम एंटीबायोटिक्स यूज कर रहे हैं आजकल, तो एंटीबायोटिक्स में आपने पेपरों में पढ़ा होगा, कई बार आता है कि भाई एंटीबायोटिक के रेसिड्यू है, ह्यूमन हेल्थ के लिए हेजार्डस है, तो हम क्या करें? तो उसके लिए कुछ अल्टरनेटिव, कुछ न्यूअर अल्टरनेटिव एंटीबायोटिक्स के बारे में भी सोचा जा रहा है, जिसमें कि कुछ हमारे पेप्टाइड्स हैं, तो उन पेप्टाइड्स को भी यूज़ करेंगे, और प्रोबायोटिक्स है उसको भी यूज़ करेंगे, और इस तरह से बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं अल्टरनेटिव के रूप में, उसको हम इस्तेमाल करेंगे। फीड के मामले में चूँकि फीड कॉस्ट इतना ज़्यादा होता है, एस्केलेट होती है प्राइस फीड की, तो हम फीड कास्ट को यदि कम करेंगे तो एक कास्ट इफेक्टिव एग प्रोडक्शन, एग मीट प्रोडक्शन हो सकता है। तो उसके लिए जो हमारे कुछ एग्रो इंडस्ट्रियल बाई प्रोडक्ट्स होते हैं, कुछ इस तरह के जो पुअर हैं फीड्स हैं, मिलेट्स हैं, और इवन जो हमारे कुछ फॉरेजेस हैं लिटिल बिट, जैसे काउपी वगैरह, उसके लीव्स से प्रोटीन होती है अच्छी क्वालिटी की, तो उसको लेके हम किस तरह से सस्ता फीड बनाए, जिससे कि हमारा जो पोल्ट्री प्रोडक्शन है एक लो कास्ट पोल्ट्री प्रोडक्शन बने। तो इस संबंध में सारी ये चर्चाएं हुई। विदेशों में जो पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री में काम हो रहा है, खासतौर पे जो बायोसिक्योरिटी मेजर्स में, उन लोगों ने भी अपने एक्सपीरियंसेस को यहाँ पे शेयर किया है, तो उनके अनुभव भी हमारे यहाँ पर होगा। जब हम मध्य प्रदेश की बात करते हैं तो मध्य प्रदेश अभी इतना पोल्ट्री प्रोडक्शन में आगे नहीं बढ़ा है। इसका मतलब ये है कि मध्य प्रदेश में पोल्ट्री प्रोडक्शन की संभावनाएं ज़्यादा है दूसरे स्टेट की तुलना में। खासतौर आंध्र प्रदेश हो गया, तेलंगाना हो गया, तमिलनाडु हो गया, महाराष्ट्र हो गया, और उत्तर में हरियाणा को ले लीजिए, तो ऐसे कुछ स्टेट्स हैं, इनमें तो काफ़ी अच्छा प्रोडक्शन हो रहा है, चाहे वो लेयर का प्रोडक्शन हो, चाहे वो एग का प्रोडक्शन हो। लेकिन मध्य प्रदेश में अभी उतना नहीं है, इन स्पाइट ऑफ दैट कि यहाँ पे लाइव स्टॉक प्रोडक्शन, लाइव स्टॉक का जो पॉपुलेशन बहुत ज़्यादा है, लेकिन जब हम पोल्ट्री की बात करते हैं तो हम काफ़ी पीछे रह जाते हैं। तो इस दिशा में भी एक लोगों ने इंस्पायर्ड किया है, और इसके चलते मुझे ऐसा लगता है जो हमारा गरीब तबका है, जो हमारे शासन की योजनाएं हैं, जो हमारे शासन की सोच है, हम उस दिशा में एनिमल हस्बेंड्री एक्टिविटी को थ्रू स्पेशली पोल्ट्री के माध्यम से आगे बढ़ाने की कोशिश करेंगे। धन्यवाद।
So firstly with your introduction, sir, and how was the scenario from 2 days, and what was the things that you have been discussed?
Myself, Dr. Jitendra Verma. I am the WVPA, the World Veterinary Poultry Association India branch, the president of WVPA India. As just to introduce WVPA, World Veterinary Poultry Association is an international association based out of UK, and we have 30 branches in different part of the globe, and India is one of the branch, and we are committed for the recent advances in the research, what is happening in avian diseases. So the theme of the event was around to find out what recent happening so that the farmer gets benefited and the academia gets benefited. So we had 7 international speakers in this. So the speakers were from Czech Republic, Spain, US, Korea, Sri Lanka. So we had a very good galaxy of international speakers as well as the national speakers. So we had 3 sessions, in 3 technical sessions. In that we had a detailed discussion on what is the disease scenario and how to control that. And apart from the 3 technical sessions, we had 2 keynote speakers. We had one keynote speaker, Dr. Mohinder Singh Oberoi, and the second was Professor Dr. G. Devegowda. So they gave overall disease scenario and what poultry scenario is in India and what need to be done and what is the way forward. So that was the idea of keynote address. And then in the end we had a brainstorming session, which was how academia and the industry can collaborate together to find out the recent problems, what I will not say problem, the challenges what we are having in poultry. So this was the overall. Along with this, the overall 15 presentations were there, and we had the parallel session of posters in which the students and the faculty members of different veterinary colleges. They came and exhibited their research activities, and they were evaluated, and based on that they will be given award. So that first, second, third award will be there based on the. So there was a committee to evaluate each poster session. So we had good galaxy of academia. We are lucky to have our vice presidents as Dr. Pankaj Shukla and Dr. Rana Day and Dr. Das. They are the pillars of the poultry industry, poultry academy, I can say that. So it was a nice overall 2 days of function, the event. When we had yesterday evening a very good cultural program also done by the students of the college. It was not outsourced, it was not they were not professionals, but they were the students. They did the cultural program. They had dance and other things. So it was just to motivate them and to say that what in-house we can do. So that was the basic idea. So I feel that it was the 2 days were very, very exciting, very wonderful 2 days, and lot of new things have come. The lead papers which were delivered definitely had something to give it back to the academia and to what kind of research we can do in future, and that will help the farmers. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. थोड़ा पीछे जाएंगे सर यहाँ. Okay ना, clear audio? Clear? Yeah. सर आपका नाम से शुरू कर देंगे. And how impactful these 2 days of sessions were, and what kind of things that everybody can learn from this. Yeah. Ready.
Good afternoon. My name is Professor Dr. Ajit Shankar Ranade. I am from Mumbai Veterinary College. I am the founder vice president of World Veterinary Poultry Association. Basically, this World Veterinary Poultry Association we established quite recently. This is a body of the World Veterinary Poultry Association, which has a headquarters in UK. This is the Indian branch, or you can say Indian chapter. And the World Veterinary Poultry Association publishes a journal called as Avian Pathology, which is a very, very popular and renowned kind of a journal. We at this particular association in India, we organize technical seminars, technical sessions, lectures, and this kind of a conference. This is a 2 days conference which was held here at Jabalpur. The impact of this conference is going to be very, very important and very big, because this is another forum which is available for the scientists to come and display their activities, their research which they have carried out, and also to promote the interest of research in the students. We exchange the thoughts, the scientists comes, they exchange the thoughts. We understand the problems of the industry, basically what the industry needs. The academicians and the colleges and the institutions should work on the basis of what the industry needs. So here the attempt is, to interact the industry as well as the academia, to understand the problems of the industry, and to tell the industry people that, look, this is the kind of a work which we have carried out in the institutes or in the colleges, and this can be used in the field. This particular association, I am very much sure, will go a long way in, helping the farmers, helping the industry people, helping the academicians to have one kind of approach towards the poultry farming as such. And the recent developments, recent advances, innovations throughout the globe will be communicated and shared with the people, scientists, farmers out over here. So I believe that this kind of association and this kind of conference is going to give a very good message, and it's going to go a long way in improving the productivity and improving the production of the poultry sector in our country. As of now, we are at number 2 position in egg production, number 5 position in the poultry meat production, and the dream is, of course, to become at number 1. Slowly but gradually we are increasing the production, and definitely we'll achieve that target. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Nutrition will lead us walk forward for sustainable poultry production and with environment sustainability, because what we are using in our poultry feed, that in near future it has been discussed that in near future we have to change our practices, because if we go to reduce the FCR for now we are having 1.3. If we go for 1.1 or 1.2, then definitely it will affect our birds' health as well as our nature's. So need to think about it. The third session was advances in poultry product technology and management. This session was very important because everybody, even our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji also talked that now time to pack our products and send it to the world. So it is very important that what we are producing in India, 90% market is the bad market. Means we are just slaughtering and consuming it. Now the time to pack our product in such a way that we can send it to the foreign countries and we can earn their dollars. And it's the same with the marketing. So in this session, about this whole conference, we can conclude that through disease management, recent technologies from recall research outputs of production and marketing up to consumer satisfaction, on which can be solely possible with integrative effort from researchers, from industry and from our farmers. So with this word, I can say that this conference definitely drawn some recommendations, and these recommendations will definitely be helpful to our industry persons, researchers, and our most important, our farmers. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Goel. Here I want to tell you that in this conference, various technical sessions were conducted and 3 poster presentation sessions were conducted. So, it's time to distribute prizes for the winners of these poster sessions. In this regard, I would like to call upon Dr. Nidhi Rajput for the announcement of prize distribution of different poster sessions.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, on behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to announce the name of the winners. There were 3 poster sessions in this 2 days conference. And first of all, we want to thank all the delegates who participated and presented their scientific research during these sessions with utmost enthusiasm. And based on the panel feedback and evaluations, there are 3 awards for each session. I will begin with the session 1. The theme for session 1 was disease management and biosecurity challenges for poultry industry. The third prize, that is collectively goes to Vaghule GM and Chaitanya S. The third prize. It has been jointly secured by these 2. Vaghule GM presented on isolation molecular characterization of fowl adenovirus from inclusion body hepatitis, and I request the chairs to kindly present the award to the winners. And then Chaitanya S. Chaitanya. She presented on pathology and molecular detection of IBD complicated with CIA and ND in cockerel birds. The second prize is also collectively being given to Dikshit B and Deshpande KY. Dikshit B and Deshpande KY. Ms. Deshpande presented on gut health and immune response of broiler supplemented with Bacillus probiotic. And the first prize goes to Naveen M. The first prize for poster session 1, it goes to Naveen M. Winners are requested to come on stage quickly. He presented on an in-house RVP3 based sandwich ELISA detects IBD virus in clinical specimens. Now the second session, it was based on advances in poultry breeding and nutrition. And the third prize, it is going collectively to Anjana P and Kharvi S. Anjana P and Kharvi S, they are requested to come on stage quickly for the third prize for this session. Anjana presented on PAT study on pre-incubation sex determination in fertile egg of white leghorn. Third prize, and also to Kharvi S. She presented on effect of supplementation of peppermint and eucalyptus essential oils on the growth performance of Japanese squirrels. And for the third prize, Ram TKR, he is also requested to receive the third prize. Actually, this third prize is being given to 3 participants. Ram TKR for the third prize for this session. For second prize, it is also being given jointly to Gupta V and Desai DN. Gupta V. Gupta V, she presented on effects in O vivo feeding in alpha ketoglutaric acid on broilers. And Desai DN. Second prize for this session. Now the first prize for this session, it goes to OP Dinani. Has secured the first prize for in poultry products, technology and marketing. The third prize has been secured by 2 participants, Nagre GK and Vandana Gupta. Dr. Nagre presented on impact of slaughter weight on welfare and meat quality in broiler. And Dr. Gupta presented on the study of hematobiochemical status. Dr. Nagre and Dr. Gupta have secured the third prize for this session. Dr. Gupta again for the third prize for this session. Second prize is being collectively awarded to Rather YA and Shriram B. The second prize goes to Dr. Rather. He presented on the effect of coriander seeds on egg quality parameters of Jabalpur color and Kadaknath birds. And Dr. Shriram, he presented on effect of ginger extract in starch-based biodegradable film for packaging of chicken nuggets. And then the last and the first prize for this session third goes to Tomar S. Dr. Tomar has secured the first prize for this session. Dr. Tomar presented on quality and shelf life evaluation of developed ready-to-cook chicken cutlet mix during storage at ambient temperature. This marks the end of the award ceremony. We thank all the dignitaries for presenting the award to the winners, and we congratulate the awardees and also convey thanks to all the participants. Now I hand over the session back to Dr. Amita ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Nidhi. Once again, I congratulate all the participants and award winners of the conference. Well, as we know that organizing a conference is a joint effort, and without the support of our sponsors, it would not have been possible to organize it successfully. So we would like to recognize their efforts and would like to felicitate our sponsors. In this regard, I would request the Honorable Dais to please felicitate our sponsors. Firstly, I would like to call representatives from Indian Broiler Group. Indian Broiler Group. LTEC, representatives from LTEC. A big round of applause is requested from the audience. Representatives from Elenco, representatives from EW Nutrition, representatives from EW Nutrition, from Hester, from Hester, from HIPRA, representatives from HIPRA, from Intas Pharmaceuticals, Natural Remedies, representatives from Natural Remedies, representatives from Neofeeds, Neofeeds, Novus, representatives from Novus, from Phoenix, representatives from Phoenix, from Rosary Biotech, from Reviosa Biotech, from Tro Nutrition, representative from Vivan Life Sciences, representatives from Zeus Biotech, Zenex Animal Health, Elivira, representatives from Elivira, representatives from Poultry India, Besides this, we would like to recognize the outstanding personal efforts of Dr. Bhindwale from Phoenix, Mr. Ricky Thapar from IB Group, Mr. Ricky Thapar from IB Group. Okay. IB Group. I would like to thank the Honorable Dais and congratulate all the sponsors, and a big thanks to them. Moving ahead, it's time to hear from our chief guest. So in this regard, I would like to request respected Dr. UK Mishra sir for an address to the gathering.
I am happy and feel proud to be part of this program because of two reasons. One, that both the organizers, because this program had been organized jointly, the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. S.P. Tiwari, he has been very close friend of mine and my colleague during our tenure in Anjora Durg. Now, he is the Vice Chancellor of this university, NDVSU. Then second, Dr. Jiten Verma. He was my student at Jabalpur some time back. And this program was organized by both these stalwarts. One happens to be the Vice Chancellor, another happens to be Chairman of the WVPA. And this gives me a great pleasure and honor to be part of this program. As we know that the poultry industry is growing very fast. And the percentage-wise, if you say, it is about 6-7% for the eggs and 8-10% for the broilers per annum. And the poultry industry is valued total to rupees of 1.25 lakhs crores. That is about 18.5 billion dollars. 18.5 billion dollars. So it's a huge one. And if at all the farmer's income has to be doubled, then these poultry and dairy sector will play a very important role. Rather, I would suggest that instead of accompanying with the industrialist, veterinarians should come forward and take the challenges of running the poultry industry. And some of them, they are doing it. One of my students at Veterinary College Anjora Durg, Dr. Ali Asgar, he's also having one industry in this poultry industry area. The poultry industry, I'm not a poultry expert, so I cannot say much about this, but one thing I know, the poultry industry has some challenges. And these challenges has to be taken care of by our scientists and the entrepreneurs. The first challenge, the cost of feed. I know a lot of nutritionists, eminent Dr. S.P. Tiwari himself is a renowned nutritionist. They might have discussed this issue during these deliberations in 2 days conference, and they might have come out with some practical solutions. The high cost of the feed, poultry feed. This is one challenge. Second is the disease. The problem, the poultry has a lot of threats for the susceptibility of the disease outbreaks. And some solutions, some ideas might have come out of deliberations, and those practicable solutions must be given to the government so that it should be implemented throughout the state, not in the state but throughout the country also. I also know that this industry is becoming very interesting. Interesting in the sense, I have seen one lady, girl, she has just started the processing of the meat or this chicken. And she has her own enterprise in Bhopal. It's very, very interesting. A girl who is non-vet, he has no exposure about the processing of the meat and all. And she has taken the challenge to run an industry in the processed food in the friends who have come from NDVSU from our side. Dr. Jiten Verma is not only heading the WVPA, but with this word, I thank you again. Thank you so much.
Professor U.K. Mishra, former Vice Chancellor, Chhattisgarh Kamdeni Vishwavidyalaya, and Chairman, Private University Commission, the President of WVPA, Dr. Jiten Verma, a very, very dynamic personality, Dr. Pankaj Shukla, the Dean, Mathura Veterinary College, and the former Joint Commissioner, Ministry of Animal Husbandry, Dairy, Government of India, Dr. Burman, PRO, the Dean of our college, Dr. Rajesh Sharma, DIE, Dr. S.S. Tomar, Dr. Ranade, who is really a very talented and outstanding, and he has a lot of contribution in the field of poultry. Dean, Bombay Veterinary College, हमारे मित्र डॉक्टर राजन गुप्ता, यहाँ पर उपस्थित समस्त डेलीगेट्स, फॉरेन से आए हुए डेलीगेट्स, और ख़ास तौर पे जिनको ये अवार्ड मिला है, हमारे छात्र छात्राएं और कुछ टीचर्स। कल से मैं देख रहा था कितना बेहतरीन इंटरेक्शन हुआ, वो जितने भी सेशन थे वो सेशन बहुत ही सोच समझ के बनाए गए थे। सारे आपने देखे होंगे, सारे एस्पेक्ट पोल्ट्री के कवर किए हैं। खास बात ये है कि आज जो प्रॉब्लम पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री में है वो पोल्ट्री डिसीज हेल्थ मैनेजमेंट को लेके है। वो एक हमारा थीम भी था एट ग्लोबल पर्सपेक्टिव, उसको लिया गया। और इसके साथ साथ पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री को बढ़ाने के लिए हमें कहाँ कहाँ काम करना है, क्या क्या लैकिंग्स है, कहाँ कहाँ पर इसको कैसे हम स्ट्रेंथन करें, और पोल्ट्री के माध्यम से हम रूरल एरिया में वाले जो ट्राइबल्स है, पुअरेस्ट ऑफ द पुअर है, उनकी लिवलीहुड, उनके जो इनकम जनरेशन है उसमें सप्लीमेंट के रूप में पोल्ट्री कैसे काम कर सकती है। ख़ास तौर पे फैमिली न्यूट्रिशन, क्योंकि ये प्रोटीन का सोर्स भी अच्छा है, और उनको हो सकता है कि उनको मिल्क ना मिले बराबर, उनको हो सकता है कि जो मील्स है वो बराबर ना मिले, लेकिन उनके ग्रोथ के लिए, फूड सिक्योरिटी के लिए आज की डेट में एनुअल प्रोटीन की बहुत आवश्यकता है। इन सारे बिंदुओं पे डिस्कशन हुआ। हमारे विदेश से भी डेलीगेट्स आए थे, उन डेलीगेट्स ने भी इसको बहुत अच्छी तरह से डिस्कस किया। जो जो टेक्नोलॉजी, जो जो इनोवेशन वहाँ पर चल रहे हैं, उन चीज़ों के बारे में यहाँ पे डिस्कस किया। हमारे जो कंट्री के जो लोग यहाँ पे डेलीगेट्स आए हैं, छात्र छात्राएं, सब लोगों ने उसको सुना और ऐसा लगता है कि आगे चल के उसको इम्प्लीमेंट भी करेंगे। अब देखिए 3-4 चीज़ें बहुत आवश्यक है। एक तो पोल्ट्री प्रोडक्शन सिस्टम के लिए फार्मर्स लेवल पे अवेयरनेस क्रिएट करने की आवश्यकता है। लोग अवेयर रहे कि हमें, देखिए पोल्ट्री किस तरह से हमारे लिए फ़ायदेमंद है। जब तक उनकी मानसिकता नहीं बनेगी तब तक पोल्ट्री को आगे वो नहीं बढ़ाएंगे, और चूंकि है वास्तव में इससे बेनिफिट हो रहा है तो वो जरूर होगा। अभी जो NGOs ग्रुप काम कर रहे हैं, बड़ी बड़ी कोऑपरेटिव्स काम कर रही हैं, चाहे वो असम में हो, चाहे वो झारखंड में हो, चाहे वो मध्य प्रदेश में हो, और चाहे इसका एक्सपांसन और दूर दराज तक हो रहा हो, मुझे लगता है कि उससे जो रूरल वीमेन्स है खास तौर पे, और जो रूरल यूथ है, दे आर कमिंग फॉरवर्ड टू एक्सेप्ट दिस टाइप ऑफ प्रोडक्शन सिस्टम, जिससे कि उनको इमीडिएट फ़ायदा मिलता है। जैसे हम एग्रीकल्चर में बात करते हैं कैश क्रॉप की, उसी तरह से हम एनिमल साइंसेस में, वेटनरी साइंसेस में एक कैश क्रॉप के रूप में यदि हम पोल्ट्री को लें तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि बहुत सारी जो सप्लीमेंट्री इनकम है और जो उनका न्यूट्रिशन है वो अपने आप में सुधर जाएगा। तो ये चीज़, अवेयरनेस वाली चीज़ जो है वो बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। चाहे आप उनको अपने लेवल पे ट्रेंड करें या गाँव में जाके छोटे छोटे आप किसान मेला वहाँ पे करें, ऑर्गेनाइज करें और उसके माध्यम से उनको मालूम हो। दूसरी चीज़ जो फीड है, क्योंकि हम सब लोग जानते हैं कि जो फीड कास्ट है वो मोर देन 70% जो एक्सपेंडिचर है वो फीड का पोल्ट्री प्रोडक्शन में आता है। मोस्टली कॉन्सेंट्रेट बेस्ड होता है और इसमें जो प्रोटीन है, एसेंशियल एमिनो एसिड्स है और बाकी जो न्यूट्रिशन है, तो जब हम न्यूट्रिएंट्स बढ़ाते हैं तो कास्ट हमारा बढ़ता है। तो यदि हम फीड कास्ट को कंट्रोल नहीं करेंगे तो कास्ट इफेक्टिव पोल्ट्री प्रोडक्शन नहीं हो पाएगा। उसके लिए हमें जो एग्रो इंडस्ट्रियल बाई प्रोडक्ट्स हमारे अवेलेबल हैं, लो कास्ट वाले, कुछ ग्रेन्स हैं और हम कुछ ग्रीन लीफ वेजिटेबल्स और कुछ और जो वेस्ट इंडस्ट्रीज़ के मिलते हैं, उनको हम किस तरह से बेस्ट और एक ईटेबल फूड के रूप में हम कन्वर्ट करें, तो एक बहुत बड़ा मुद्दा है। इन सब चीज़ों को यदि हम उसमें इंक्लूड करते हैं तो मुझे लगता है एक कास्ट इफेक्टिव प्रोडक्शन होगा। तीसरी चीज़ हेल्थ की है। जैसा अभी कह रहे थे कि कॉक्सीडियोसिस की काफ़ी बड़ी प्रॉब्लम थी, कॉक्सीडियोसिस के बारे में कल काफ़ी लंबा डिस्कशन हुआ है। तो कॉक्सीडियोसिस वास्तव में एक बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री में। उसके लिए जो वैक्सीन बनाने की सोच रहे हैं, ये बहुत अच्छी बात है, वैक्सीन बन भी रही होगी और आगे हम उसके बारे में सोच रहे हैं कि जो हमारी वैक्सीन्स है कैसे दूर दराज तक पहुँचे और हम उसको कंट्रोल करें। इसी के साथ साथ हम बर्ड फ्लू के बारे में भी सोचें। आप देखिए पूरे वर्ल्ड में, नॉट ओनली इन आवर कंट्री, बर्ड फ्लू, एवियन इन्फ्लुएंजा एक कितना बड़ा हमारे लिए घातक हो गया है। जो पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री तो ठीक है, पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री के साथ साथ ह्यूमन की तरफ भी पैर पसार रहा है। तो हमें लगता है कि एवियन इन्फ्लुएंजा, बर्ड फ्लू, इसके बारे में वैक्सीन बनाने की आवश्यकता है। और जो इससे लगा हुआ बायोसिक्योरिटी मेजर है, वो खास तौर पे जो बैकयार्ड पोल्ट्री है, जो बर्ड्स रूरल एरियाज में है, वहाँ पे बायोसिक्योरिटी मेजर्स जो काफ़ी पुअर है, काफ़ी कमज़ोर है, तो उनको बताने की आवश्यकता है। जब हम बात करते हैं, जब तक हम इसको एक गांव में, विलेजेस में जो छोटी छोटी कंपनियां बना के रखे हैं, मतलब छोटे छोटे, टू कम्पीट विद दी प्रोग्रेसिव पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री, उनको बायोसिक्योरिटी मेजर लेना ही होगा। इसके साथ जो एंटीबायोटिक्स है, हम लोग एंटीबायोटिक बिल्कुल आँख बंद करके हम यूज़ कर रहे हैं, पोल्ट्री फीड में यूज़ कर रहे हैं, और अदरवाइज चाहे इंजेक्शन के रूप में हो, चाहे ओरल हो, चाहे जो भी उसके एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव रूट्स हैं, हर तरह से हम बर्ड्स को देते हैं। लेकिन हमने न्यूज़पेपर में भी पढ़ा है, चैनल्स में भी देखते हैं, हम लोग डिस्कस भी करते हैं, जब हम ज़्यादा पोल्ट्री बर्ड्स को हम एंटीबायोटिक देंगे तो जो एंटीबायोटिक रेसिड्यू है तो एंटीबायोटिक रेसिड्यू का भी इफेक्ट होगा और उसमें डिसीज रेजिस्टेंस भी पैदा होता है ज़्यादा डोज देने से। तो हम क्यों ना जो न्यू एंटीबायोटिक अल्टरनेटिव्स हैं उनके बारे में भी हम सोच सकते हैं, जैसे एंटी माइक्रोबियल पेप्टाइड्स वगैरह है, मैक्रोफेजेस की कल बात कर रहे थे, और एसेंशियल ऑयल्स है, प्रोबायोटिक्स है। तो इस तरह की बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं, उनको भी हम सप्लीमेंट के रूप में दें और देखें कि कम से कम उसमें इस तरह का चांसेस हो कि हमको एंटीबायोटिक यूज़ करना पड़े। इसके बाद एफसीआर एक बहुत बड़ा मुद्दा है कि आप खुद सोचो कि एक दिन भी बर्ड्स यदि आप एक्स्ट्रा रख लिया आपने, और एक बर्ड्स मान लीजिए 100 ग्राम भी फीड खाता है और लाखों मुर्गियां हैं उनके फार्म में, तो आप मल्टीप्लाई कर लीजिए 100 ग्राम को, कितने टन्स कितने अमाउंट में जाएगा और उसका लॉस कितना होगा। तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि जितने कम समय में हम एफसीआर उसका जितना भी कम कर लें तो मुझे लगता है कि ज़्यादा अच्छा होगा। लेकिन एफसीआर कम करने के लिए आपको बहुत क्रिटिकली सोचना पड़ेगा फीड के बारे में। फीड रिसोर्सेज बहुत कम है, अकाल पड़ा है फीड के बारे में, ह्यूमन बीइंग कम्पीट कर रहा है। तो जो भी वेस्ट मटेरियल हमारे पास है उनमें से ऐसी चीज़ें एक्सट्रैक्ट करिए आप, जैसे फाइटो बेस्ड जो न्यूट्रिएंट्स हैं उनको हम एक्सट्रैक्ट करके और हम फीड में सप्लीमेंट करेंगे। तो मॉलिक्यूलर लेवल में आप बात करें, जीनोमिक्स लेवल पे बात करें, जैसे ब्रीडिंग में हम लोग पढ़ते हैं, ब्रीडिंग के लिए स्ट्रेन्स के लिए अलग अलग हम उसमें पढ़े, ऐसे हम क्या कर सकते हैं, क्या उसमें चेंजेस ला सकते हैं जिसकी वजह से हमारी फीड की क्वालिटी न्यूट्रिशियस हो जाए, अच्छी हो जाए, और हमारा जो पोल्ट्री प्रोडक्शन है वो कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव हो जाए। इसके साथ साथ जो हमारे बर्ड्स है तो नए नए स्ट्रेन्स, अब देखिए कि कितने तरह के बर्ड्स की स्ट्रेन्स आ गई हैं जिनका जो मीट प्रोडक्शन है कितना फास्ट बढ़ता है, उसको कंपनसेट करना हमको फीड से। तो नए नए वेराइटीज़ हम स्ट्रेन्स भी डेवलप कर सकते हैं बर्ड्स के। इस तरह का पूरा डिस्कशन हुआ है और आज का दिन है वास्तव में जो हमारे यहाँ पे अवार्ड विनर हैं उनको शुभकामनाएं देने के लिए। और हमारे जो लोग रानाडे साहब जैसे लोग यहाँ पे आए हैं तो वो ज़्यादा अच्छा बताएंगे, क्योंकि ये लोग पोल्ट्री के ज्ञाता है, हमें तो इतना पोल्ट्री के बारे में नहीं पता है। जो थोड़ी थोड़ी चीज़ें हमको पता है उसके बारे में मैंने जस्ट अपने पॉइंट्स रखे हैं। जैसे वेस्ट, इसी तरह का वेस्ट जो डिस्पोजल होता है उसके बारे में भी सोचे। कल एक फॉरेन कंट्री के थे, शायद जापान ने कहा के थे, वो रेंडरिंग के बारे में बोल रहे थे, बायोगैस, एनिमल वेलफेयर, इन्वायरमेंट क्लीन होना चाहिए, सस्टेनेबल पोल्ट्री प्रोडक्शन, बहुत सारे देयर आर मेनी थिंग्स आर देयर विच इज़ वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू से एट राइट मोमेंट। और जो पोल्ट्री व्यवसाय में जो लोग लगे हैं, जो पोल्ट्री से संबंधित जो वैज्ञानिक हैं वो लोग लगे हैं, तो काफ़ी अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं वो लोग, समझ सकते हैं। डॉक्टर वर्मा से हमारी काफ़ी मित्रता है, हम लोग मिलते रहते हैं, और जब वो बात करते हैं तो मुझे लगता है कि न्यूट्रिशन उनको कितना आता है। हम दोनों लोग जो रिसर्च एडवाइजरी कमेटी है NINP की, तो हम लोग मिलते रहते हैं, और मैंने इनका देखा है जो इनके जो क्रिटिक्स होते हैं, द वे ही इज आस्किंग द थिंग्स, उसमें तो जो चाहे NINP के डायरेक्टर साहब हों, चाहे उनके जो लोग हैं, वो सब मतलब सोचने में मजबूर हो जाते हैं कि इसको हम कैसे करें। ठीक है, हम आपकी टेक्नोलॉजी को हम इंडस्ट्री में ले जाते हैं, लेकिन इनके ये जो पॉइंट्स हैं, इन पॉइंट को आप क्लैरिफाई करो। तो देयर आर मेनी थिंग्स आर देयर, दोज हु आर वर्किंग इन द पोल्ट्री इंडस्ट्री दे आर वर्किंग वेरी हार्ड। तो ये सारी चीज़ें हैं, और आज हम सब, मैं सभी को अपनी तरफ से बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मैं देता हूँ कि आप लोग यहाँ पर आए, और जो 2 दिवसीय हमारा जो अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सम्मेलन था उसको आप लोगों ने सक्सेस बनाया, और आई एम रियली वेरी हैप्पी। और ख़ास तौर पे प्रोफेसर UK मिश्र जो कि जिनने कि हमें भी पढ़ाया है, और डीन भी हमको इन्हीं ने बनाया था अंजोरा में वेटनरी कॉलेज में, उनको आज मैंने चेयरमैन के रूप में इनवाइट भी किया है। तो मेरा सौभाग्य है कि वो यहाँ पे वो पधारे, और आज भी वो एक चेयरमैन के हैसियत से वहाँ पे जो यूनिवर्सिटी का एक काउंसिल होता है प्राइवेट यूनिवर्सिटी का, उसका चेयरमैन के रूप में भी वो कार्यरत हैं। तो आपके जो भी गाइडलाइंस हैं हम लोगों की मिलती रहेंगी, क्योंकि आपका एक्सपीरियंस ज़्यादा है। तो मैं पुनः आप सभी को धन्यवाद देता हूँ, ख़ास तौर पे जो मीडिया पर्सनल्स हैं और जिन लोगों ने बहुत अच्छा कवरेज दिया है। मैंने तो उसके ग्रुप में भी मैंने फॉरवर्ड किया है, काफ़ी वाइड कवरेज है, ऑलमोस्ट ऑल न्यूज़पेपर्स यहाँ तो यदि न्यूज़पेपर गिनाने लगेंगे जबलपुर में तो बड़ा मुश्किल काम है। तो बहुत सारे न्यूज़पेपर, इंग्लिश न्यूज़पेपर, हिंदी न्यूज़पेपर, and this all information of yesterday and right now today also it has been transferred to राजभवन। ये राजभवन में जा चुका है, ये फेसबुक में जा चुका है, तो वो एट मोमेंट वो देखते हैं। तो कल का धन्यवाद, और ऐसे इस तरह के आगे कार्यक्रम हम लोग करते रहेंगे और एक दूसरे से जुड़ते रहेंगे। धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir. Well, it's time to present memento to our special guests as a token of remembrance. In this regard, I would like to request Honorable VC Professor S.P. Tiwari sir to please present memento to our chief guest, Dr. U.K. Mishra sir. Thank you, sir. I would like to request Dr. Jiten Verma sir to please present memento to Honorable VC Professor S.P. Tiwari sir. Thank you, sir. I would request Organizing Secretary Dr. R.K. Sharma sir to please present memento to our guest of honor, Dr. P.K. Shukla sir. Thank you, Secretary of this conference, for vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected all the dignitaries sitting in the dais, UK Mr. Sarji, former Professor Dr. Tiwari Sarji, Vice Chancellor, and Dr. R.K. Sharma ji, Dr. Jitendra Verma ji. So we had an excellent session today. My sincere thanks to all of you, sir. I'm very much happy that I am a student of the professor who learned his degree from this institute, sir. And in the poultry industry, my guru is Dr. Kolte sir. He is also professor from this institute. So I am connected to this institute, and I am very happy to say my few words as a vote of thanks to all of you dignitaries for today's valedictory session. And also thank you all my senior professors, my colleagues, and my friends, and especially my students who are presented here for this session for last 2 days. And my sincere request to all of you, you just connected to WVPA. It's a platform where globally we have every 4 years here one global seminar. It is called WVPA Congress, and every 2 years we arrange one Asia chapter, and every year we arrange one India chapter. And you'll be happy to know every year we sponsor complete travel grant for the best scientists. Almost every year we are sponsoring 6 to 7 scientists for the global and the Asia chapter. So everybody, you please join and participate in all those activities. And if you activate, if you start joining this, then you will know. Because, and my request to the faculty and the university deans are also, so our research has to be totally in the applied science. So then only we can go and we can act locally. So these are my words, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. And it was a wonderful session. We enjoyed all the days, sir. Thank you, sir.